contractors, the Mercedes-Benz of plumbers, the Mercedes-Benz of pet groomers. No one wants to settle. That's why your business needs the Mercedes-Benz of fans. With a custom upfit that's built to suit your ambitions, advanced safety and connectivity, and with legendary Mercedes-Benz reliability, over the long haul, a Sprinter can really help your bottom line.
For a test drive, visit Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge at 10949 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or at mbobr.com.
Homeowners, don't get caught without AC this spring. Beat the heat and call Capital City Comfort to let their techs handle preventative maintenance on your home's cooling system. Repairs now can save you lots of money down the road. CapitalCityComfort-BR.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Monday, July 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 94. In hour one of today's show, we'll give you an update on the Paris Olympics. We'll talk the latest of LSU recruiting as they recap the Bayou Splash. And we'll talk some New Orleans Saints as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome in to another day of OTB. Live here in studios at Guarantee Media. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you today. A very fun weekend in the books. I mean, the Sports Cup overfloweth with the Olympics going on. The only thing about the Olympics is, I don't exactly know how to talk about it because it's hard to find the things that, everybody would have watched, right? I mean, I don't know. Some of the random holes I've fallen into are fencing. There was an incredible women's archery competition between Korea and China. Do you know that Korea has won all 10 women archery events that have ever been at the Olympics? So I guess if they have 10 team events over the last 40 years, no one has ever won, save for Korea. So, I mean, I'm guessing USA basketball is something that most of us would have watched over the weekend, but it's just a very, very cool time. The games are incredible right now. There's so many sports that you never touch otherwise. So it was a really, really cool weekend, man. What's going on, everybody? How we doing today?
I'm doing great. Glad to be back in studio. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here.
Yeah.
So glad to be back in.
Dude, that's a half a month. That's crazy.
It is. In fact, I was getting hazed by the producers, as I should have, asking me if I remembered how to get here.
Good job, guys. I'm proud of you. There you go.
As I told them, and Alondra agrees, when I was on Nicholson and I was chitty chitty bang bang, I realized I was headed in the right direction.
Yeah, back home.
It's horrible.
Back in it. Fonz Fonzarelli says, I know I watched somebody throw 8 interceptions last night. Okay,
Oof.
guys. Relax.
Wait, who threw 8 interceptions?
Was that you?
I may or may not with me and Aaron Murray. So we're streaming a bunch of the big week one matchups, trying to figure out what's going to happen. And we played A&M Notre Dame last night. And I may or may not have thrown 8 picks with Connor Wigman.
I was going to say, let me guess, you were A&M.
I also threw for 500 yards and 4 tuds, but 8 picks. I'm awful at the game. And I've played so much Navy at this point that I really am. I'm pretty good. It's funny. Imagine this. This is going to be a credit to NCAA 25. Imagine this. My skill set that I am drawing from, Jake, as an O-lineman, I'm very good at running the ball. And it's especially funny because the Les Miles runs so deep in me that power specifically, inside zone, these runs where you got to be patient and wait on your blocks and hit the hole, that all has an incredible feel in the game. Unfortunately, I am just helpless knowing where to go with the ball against coverages. I can see if it's cover 2, but I just don't know what routes they should be prioritized. So look, the overall point is I'm awful, but Okay? Remember, lost all the way down to the bottom 3% of players in chess. Okay? Where am I at now? 70th percentile.
Oh, nice.
So there's nowhere to go but up.
I remember you in the 50s, and you were pretty happy about it.
Yeah, but you know what? I want to get to 1,000.
Okay.
And I'm about 870 right now. So we're going to keep grinding. Same thing with NCAA. All you talking crap are just causing me, you're just giving me motivation. So, yeah, 8 picks. All that is a minor setback for a major comeback, okay? It was bad.
I haven't even really – I've played one game. I got on the sticks with one of my boys, so you're way ahead of me. You would smash me.
I don't know if I don't know that that's true. I honestly – but that's fine. It doesn't matter. I don't think I've won a game yet, honestly. I've lost all my online games that I've played. I've lost my Dynasty games, and I lost to Aaron. So I don't know. But again, guys, you can't kill me from shame or embarrassment. I'm telling you. Like I'm not self-conscious in this regard. Thanks to chess, thanks to learning how to jog as an adult. Like I'm so used to doing things that I'm very bad at to the point where it looks embarrassing only to get better at it. So that's all this is going to do is get me in the lab practicing, getting better. And you better catch me now, okay? That's all I'm saying. Are y'all talking on that noise out there?
Well, life's just different now since the last time you played NCAA. I mean, you got multiple jobs, multiple children, a lot going on. So,
yeah,
it's just different.
That's fine. I mean, look, I ain't even. It ain't even. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying, it's just keep talking. And so that I want you all to just keep talking. Okay, I see your little satisfied, smug smile over there, Taylor. Why don't you play your stupid 5-star road to glory some more? Just made yourself a 5-star quarterback and go to LSU. Oh man, you're really in the fight, huh? What are you playing on? What are you playing on? Freshman?
No. So Dynasty, I'm playing on varsity because I'm not going to throw 8 picks.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to enjoy the game.
Exactly. I ain't scared. Anyway, how was Morgan Wallen, Alondra?
Morgan Wallen was freaking awesome.
I thought the denim fit looked great.
Thank you. I had the best time. Me and Jennifer were jamming. That was my friend that I went with. Like, we had so much fun. It was a great show.
Walked out with Troy Aikman,
right? He walked out with Troy Aikman. He put on a Jason Witten jersey later on. And Taylor, like, I'm really sorry. I did get you a jersey, but plane lost my luggage, so didn't.
A Jason Witten jersey.
He was wearing a Jason Witten jersey.
That's the second time we've talked about Jason Witten in the last few days.
Cowboys 2 shows. Yeah. We talked about him Friday.
Yeah.
Man.
He's a real one wearing a Witten jersey.
I mean,
that's a deep cut.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
With all the Cowboys, like he was a great player, but the Cowboys
he gets
have
off to the wayside.
It's Smith, Aikman,
That's
Irvin.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But he walked out with Troy.
Kind
Aikman.
of a mediocre cut. More,
Okay,
I would
fair.
say.
Like a deep cut would have been like Terrence Newman or something. Played there forever, but like nobody remembers him.
Bobby Carpenter.
Bobby Carpenter is a deep cut. Yes.
What about Datton Wynn?
That's more of a deep cut than Witten.
Yeah, it was awesome. Had a great time.
That's awesome. That's very good. Very good to hear.
I want to see him again.
How many people were there?
A lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was packed, and they had those bracelets that light up and go to the beat of the song, and the whole thing was great. I want to see him again.
All right. Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that it lived up to your expectations.
Yeah.
And whatnot. How do we enjoy the Olympics this weekend, guys? Like, what did everybody tune into? Like I said, there's a billion different choices. I don't know. I mean, did most of us watch the highlights at least of USA Serbia?
I actually watched the whole second half of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game. USA ends up running away with it, but this really, I don't know, man. This team is definitely It's dusting off some of those feelings that I had as a kid watching that, like the 96 Dream Team and thinking about 92. I was a little too young to watch 92 except for highlights. But like it's really overwhelming seeing Ant, KD, LeBron, and Steph all on the court at the same time.
They didn't play Jason Tatum. I knew that was a storyline. I didn't watch the game, but I knew Steve Kerr said, I feel like an idiot.
So Tatum and Halliburton, I believe, did not get any minutes.
Halliburton is a great player, but like Jason Tatum.
Even Derek White's out here getting minutes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Twitter was kind of roasting him a little bit. A bunch of people had like highlight packages. They were like Tatum and Hallie highlight packages from their first U.S. men's game, and it's them just like cheering from the bench with some rap behind it. Look, man, I don't know. Again, is there any shame in not playing on that team? Obviously not. Like, we're going to make fun, but like, it goes back to what you were talking about the other day, Jake. What, you're the 7th fastest person in the world? And we're going to be like, oh, you're slow. Okay, well, you're the 7th fastest person in the world. So what are we talking about? They're on one of the greatest rosters that's ever been assembled on an international stage.
It's just because they just won the championship. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Because there's been years where you had a team like this and people didn't play.
Didn't Drew start, I believe?
Drew's been starting.
Yeah, dude. Look at him, dude. The Drew Holiday rise continues to just be crazy. I mean, there's no end to it. And then, I mean, look, LeBron just defies age. The image of him soaring through the air, it looks a lot like the image from back in the day with, where D-Wade throws it up behind him and he's like, and D-Wade's arms like this and LeBron's catching it in the air behind him. How in the world at 40 years old is he still doing that? Say it, Taylor. What do you want to say?
No, I literally don't have an answer.
What is percolating in your brain right now? You have this smug look on your face from the second I started talking about LeBron and how's he still doing this. Why don't you nut up and say whatever you want to say?
No, I really didn't have anything. I was laughing because I was like, I don't know the answer to this question. Like, how do you answer this question? He's just good at basketball. He's better than everyone else.
Katie looked pretty good.
Yes,
and Katie looked great too.
I didn't watch the game, but I mean, just watching the highlights.
Slim Reaper looked great. I mean, you got Curry out there cooking, and then you got the young gun Ant hanging out with everybody and bringing all of his intensity to bear. So I can't wait to watch this team for the rest of this way, handling Jokic and Serbia there. Very pro-Serbian, pumped-up crowd. But, USA basketball is awesome. Give me something else that you loved from the Olympics over the weekend.
USA soccer beat New Zealand 4-1.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
After losing to France in the opening game 2-0. They played well. They gave up both goals in the second half, but they came back and they won 4-1, and so in a nice spot in group play.
And the women's team just beat Germany 4-1, I believe, as well.
Yeah, so they're into the quarterfinals, the women's team. Yeah, they 4-1. I'm trying to think who they play now, but yes, 4-1 over Germany, and so both U.S. teams winning 4-1.
What about you guys?
I didn't catch much, but I did catch the rugby sevens. So I watched France. So France won their first gold medal in rugby ever. They beat Fiji, who's like, they've never lost in the Olympics or something crazy, some sort of crazy stat like that. Like Fiji's like on top of the rugby sevens game.
Pacific Islanders love rugby.
Yeah.
They're incredible at rugby.
So they took down Fiji. Fiji got the silver medal, and then South Africa beat, I can't remember. They beat somebody for the bronze medal.
Okay.
I can't remember who South Africa beat.
Probably New Zealand or Australia or something.
I think it was Australia.
Taylor, what about you?
Women's beach volleyball. I was going to save it for weekend winners. Yeah.
Well, we can read,
Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss, but I watched yesterday, and I don't remember the duo's name, but it was the second group for the U.S. women's. They're ranked like top 5 in the world as well. So you have 2 top 5 pairs now for the U.S. women's volleyball team. They're dominating.
Where is Australia ranked? Because TK and Nuss have the Aussies at 3 p.m. today, maybe 2 p.m. Central.
2 p.m. Central.
Okay,
yeah.
I got to check my times there. I don't know anything about them, but Aussies feel like they would be one of the premier beach volleyball teams. I know South America, like Brazil, are the main powerhouses, but maybe get me in Australia women's ranking, because really their first match, our Cloth and Nuss dominated. The first set a little close, but by the second set they had completely taken over, and just watching them and thinking about them being here in studio years ago, and now the stage that they occupy, it's overwhelmingly cool in how badass it is.
I have them at 21 in the world, it looks like. Australia.
Okay, Australia. And Cloth and Nuss are top 5?
Yeah, you have 2 groups. You have one at 5, one at 2.
Yeah, but Cloth and Nuss are 2?
Yeah.
They're 2 in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Let's go, dude. Oh, you know what I watched a little bit of, Jake? Water polo. You want to talk about just an awful, awful sport in terms of my nightmare, because it's just treading water while some other super ripped dude tries to drown you. It looks exhausting. The amount of power that these cats get on these shots and their skill with being able to swim and catch and throw, awesome. Simply awesome to watch. I always get into fencing a bit. It's kind of, a lot of the points are boring, but like a great point, I think, feels like you're watching like an old like Errol Flynn sword fight scene. Yeah. I'm excited for today. What's on right now? Surely there's something on right now, no?
I'm sure there. I don't know.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. No, I'm seeing that. What time's right now? It's 7:15. So right now, we
Germany and Belgium are playing in women's basketball.
Archery.
We have badminton going on right now. We have cycling, men's basketball. We have handball. I've never really watched handball. We have women's pool rugby. It looks like tennis.
No surprise, you don't know what handball is.
And water polo. And archery just started up at 8:15. Have you ever played handball? I used to play wall ball.
I used to play wall ball all the time.
Hell yeah, dude. Wall ball was hitting back in the day.
It was.
Wall
You
ball
always
was
had one friend that took it a little too far. No headshots, and
Hey, look.
he didn't understand the rules.
Oh, skateboarding's on right now? Put that on.
Ooh.
Also, I did watch the women's skate final, the women's park skate final. That was really nice. Japan coming out very strong there, almost taking the entire podium. What you have swimming just garnered a couple of goals. I know the men won the 4x100. That was a great race. That was dominant. So it was cool, dude. It was cool, man. I was like not on the fence. I was not on the fence about the Olympics, but I have enjoyed it much more than I would have thought. And it's just real nice having it on in the background and being able to just kind of bebop around and see where the broadcast takes me.
What channel is it on?
NBC.
NBC. Yeah, put it on. Okay. Put it on, Taylor.
I just saw memes and videos on Twitter because we went to the stockyards on Saturday and then we went for like a little rest and that's when I caught the rugby sevens.
What is stockyards?
It's just like this. It's in Fort Worth. Yeah, and it's just this street, a few streets where there's a bunch of shops, a bunch of restaurants, bars. You can walk around with drinks. The bars are super cool and fun there. There's a basement one that I was obsessed with because I love stuff like that. But it was really cool. But that's why I didn't catch like any of this.
No, yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing. Still going on. You got to. There's
I know.
a ton of time.
Yeah.
All right. When we get back, let's recap a little recruiting as LSU hosting a lot of the country's top recruits at the Bayou Splash over the weekend. How'd it go? Commitment garnered? Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota is your one-stop vehicular shop, man. They're off of Airline in Goodwood, so very conveniently located. And whether you're looking to buy brand new, maybe you want to go the used route where they have Toyota certified used vehicles. You still get warranty coverage, right? Which is great. And you kind of choose your level of it. So a lot of times when you go in to get service, you're not even opening your wallet. So whether it's a minivan, sedan, luxury SUV, a hybrid, gas, anything, it's all there at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Go to the website today, see what you can buy new. Everything's available, of course. Also, when you're trying to lease, T-Bob and I have taken full advantage of that. Or if you're trying to rent. I know that school's starting, but that doesn't mean you're not going to have a trip. Maybe you're going to watch the Tigers play somewhere here this season. Go ahead and rent that Toyota. Save miles on your car. Get something bigger, better on gas mileage, whatever it is. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. See, look here, we got a little women's field hockey on the TV. USA Today. Well, it's on USA, and the USA is doing battle with Spain right now. España. What an exhausting looking sport. First off, that is a massive field. There's a lot of space on that field. Secondly, why are the sticks so short? I feel like I'm getting low back pain just watching these women have to run around that hunched over. You must do so much core and like RDLs and whatnot to be able to not just blow out your back. Look at that. They are hunched over. Make the sticks longer, guys, but still. Aggressive. I love it. Physical. Get after it, Team USA.
Where do you play? Like, where does one start field hockey? That feels like in the Northeast.
It's always felt very much, yes. I always feel like if I'm watching like a movie that takes place at a rich high school in the Northeast, the girls play field hockey, and probably the popular girls kind of like a physical over aggressive field hockey player. Yes, I feel like I haven't seen Cruel Intentions in years, but I feel like there might be field hockey scenes in Cruel Intentions.
I'm looking at the top 5 in field hockey in the NCAA. North Carolina, Northwestern, Virginia, Duke, Maryland.
Are those all great lacrosse schools as well? To a man, right?
Probably,
pretty much?
Yeah.
I'm almost positive. So there's some sort of link between field hockey and lacrosse there. Maybe Ben Neck asking T-Bob, did you see the Robert Downey Jr. news? Yeah, we can talk about that as well. I guess Robert Downey Jr. is back in the MCU as Dr. Doom, which...
It's like, didn't he die?
Yeah, I mean, look, with the multiverse, all things are possible.
I know. But...
Even though the multiverse is getting a little... But I don't know. But, every now and then something's awesome. Because I saw Deadpool and Wolverine this weekend, and it was awesome.
What do y'all think about when they take
hilarious.
the same actor to play multiple superheroes or supervillains? I don't like that.
Well, they don't do it normally. At least not in the same cinematic universe. You might have a Chris Evans when he was younger being cast as Johnny Flame or whatever, and then eventually ending up as Captain America. But I don't know. Yeah, I kind of agree with Daniel here. Bringing back Robert Downey Jr., the guy, and making him a different character feels like a desperate move.
Yeah, because it was once Iron Man died, the universe crashed, but I'm bringing Robert Downey back as a different character doesn't change that.
No. Look at this. You love this thing, right? Look, we brought it back, guys. That said,
I'm pretty excited about it.
Deadpool and Wolverine was awesome.
It was great.
You're excited for Downey Jr.'s Doom?
I love Robert Downey Jr., and I love that character in the comics, and it was done horribly by the Nip Tuck guy.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah. No, I mean, Doom's one of the great comic villains of all time, for sure. So, but I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. But again, every now and then, Deadpool and Wolverine was great, dude. And Deadpool's kind of meta commentary was perfect for where Disney's currently at and him joining Disney and the jokes and everything that you can get off therein. It was, I would really, I cannot recommend it. I cannot recommend it enough. Ranger says, Dr. Doom may never reveal his mask, though. Well, then what's the point of...
marketing?
Yeah, but I mean, then what's the point of really casting him at the end of the day? It's one of the craziest decisions that's probably ever been made is that original Spider-Man movie where they cast Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. They put him in a mask the entire time. You notice when they did that most recent one, when they brought him back, no mask. That was quickly destroyed at the beginning there.
I love that man.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Great face. All right. So the Bayou Splash took place over the weekend. And, of course, this was the big recruiting shindig after the July dead period. This is a kind of final chance before the season starts to get in front of some of the biggest recruits in the entire nation. A very busy weekend as well, as pretty much every recruit was they're at LSU Thursday and then Auburn Saturday or Texas Saturday. So everybody's trying to get people to go, and LSU got a lot of people there, and they actually gained a commitment. And it's from 2026 three-star offensive lineman Jalen Chapman out of Warren Easton. He's about 6'2", 265 right now, young cat. Cat feels like a center in the making to me, but he said, quote, Coach Brad, talking about Brad Davis, Coach Brad was the final piece of the puzzle. He's the one who I'm going to be on with early morning and long nights trying to win the Joe Moore Award and a national championship with. He's going to be my coach and a mentor, and he can develop me to be the best. Now, some people, again, you get obsessed with stars. So Jalen Chapman, 3-star, yes, but listen to the offer sheet. Picked LSU over Bama, Oregon, Arkansas, USC, and Tennessee. So some of the top in the entire state. But look, you know what I was thinking, Jake, about this weekend? It's almost, and look, according to all of the recruiting experts, it was a strong weekend for LSU. All the recruits said positive things. I thought it was very interesting that a word that is constantly popping up in everybody's mouth is family. You can tell that LSU is really pushing this idea of family and giving off that vibe, which I find to be funny given that, my family, with Brian Kelly at the end. He's gone full Tyrion Lannister and wrapped himself up in it. And now he's selling it to recruits and they're loving it. But I would argue that this weekend, after seeing quotes from Keelan Moses and stuff and others who are already committed, this weekend is almost as much, if not more, about retention than it even is getting new recruits. You had the 5-star receiver Jamie French on campus. That's great. You had Anquan Fagans on campus. That's great. But I think it's also about maintaining all of the great guys you already have by showing them, look, we still love you. We're committed, we're excited. Look, your teammates are going to be, and just kind of reinforcing that why they made that original decision to commit to LSU.
Yeah, you had so many people commit early to this class that you have to kind of remember, okay, yeah, they're committed, but we still have to recruit them. And you and I have gone through the process. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you don't necessarily have to have, every single day a phone call, because that gets annoying as well. But you still have to make sure that you're doing your due diligence and checking on them and asking how things are going and making sure that, everything that they want and need is taken care of, because just because they committed a year ago doesn't mean you don't have to recruit them. And so I agree with you. This weekend was probably, hey, let's solidify some of those guys that we've had committed for a long time. Let's show them some love. And then we've got 2, 3, 4 guys here that we're trying to get in this class, and who better to represent LSU than the guys that have been committed for a year.
And I thought another kind of heady play, so it's mainly made up of 2025 guys, and then you have a few of the elite 26 guys, including, of course, Jakeem Stewart, who's we're going to talk about probably for the next 2 years, and then even a couple 27 guys. And what was smart about that is, I can't remember the cat's name, but one of 27, 5-star. He's one of the guys that they think is going to be one of the top in that year, and he was kind of not overwhelmed, but I think he took a lot of personal pride and satisfaction in being invited to an event with older guys who were already so proven, right? It's a way of the coaches to have very early on in the process kind of buttering you up and saying, look, this is what we think about you. So, but again, my greatest takeaways from this weekend, it's not about, again, it's not about French, it's not about Fagans, it's not even about getting the commitment. It's more about just kind of reading the message that they're putting. And yeah, a lot of it's just kind of a bit generic. Yeah, it was great, blah, blah, blah. But seeing these themes emerge in the answers shows you that LSU has a very cohesive and effective message. And it's about family. It's about developing you, not just as a football player, but also obviously in the classroom, but then also the ability to become an icon, right? The stage at LSU can set you up for life going forward. And I think the other thing about it is, I think they've really assembled a hell of a staff. The amount of positives that you hear about Cortez Hankton, about Frank Wilson, about Brad Davis, about Blake Baker, about Peoples. It's like, to a man, these players seem very, very happy with their position coaches and the guys that are recruiting them, much more so than when you were in the Matt House era and reading between the lines of some of those quotes.
Yeah, they've had the offensive staff, and that's why you laid them out first there.
Yeah.
With Brad Davis and Sloan and Hankton and Coach Wilson, but they needed the defensive staff to be able to have the same effect that the offensive staff had in recruiting. And so you go and get guys that are really good football coaches on the field, but really good recruiters. I mean, Bo Davis, how long has he been getting just top defensive linemen?
Yeah.
And then, we've had Coach Baker on the show. I can see why he would do really well in recruiting. And also, I mean, Corey Raymond, we know what he can do. And so you have now put together a defensive staff that can compete with the offensive staff as far as recruiting. And you didn't have that. You did not have that in the staff that was here before. In fact, it's like on all levels, you didn't have that. You're better at every level on the defensive staff in recruiting than you were last year.
And it's showing. And it creates, again, when we talk about things like alignment and organizational competence, that's, I think, Brian Kelly's greatest strength. And I think in this day and age, it pays even more dividends than any other point in kind of college football history. And it does seem like he's really, with the investment, it has to pay off on the field. But from a kind of culture standpoint, it seems as in the investment of remaking that defensive staff, to Jake's point, has worked. Because now you've kind of matched what you already had offensively, and the results speak for themselves recruiting-wise. As you sit here, number 3 in the country, at the time when recruiting is more competitive than ever, because you have so many new players. I mean, you have so many dollars out there to be had. It's harder and harder to win these major guys over, and LSU's doing a hell of a job. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's check in with Saints training camp for a little bit, see what's going on there. Keep it locked. If you're watching on youtube.com/1045ESPN, guys, hit the like button, share it with your friends, or if you're listening on the radio, just stick around. We'll come up with more OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You want to join the All-Star family? Well, whether you're looking to buy new or maybe you want like a Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe you need a body shop. Okay? You get in an accident, you're like, oh man, where do I go? It doesn't matter if it's Toyota, it doesn't matter if it's from All-Star. All makes and models are welcome. They got factory parts right there on site, guys. They give you free professional estimates. They got excellent lines of communication throughout the entire process. Just go to All-Star today, and they got rental cars and shuttle service, all that, and more. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
And as we always say, something for everyone. Sienna minivan, Sequoia for the full-size SUV. They've got the 4Runner, the Highlander, mid-size SUV. I mean, they got multiple options. Tundra, Tacoma, if you're looking for a truck, go find it at AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be, where we want to be.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. All the news from the Bayou Splash. Plus, Saints Camp rolls on, and it's LSU Camp Week as well. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. So Saints camp is rolling right along right now, guys. And look, there's been a flurry of offensive line signings, but it's nothing. I mean, I'm not even going to give you names, honestly, guys, because it doesn't matter. It's none of the top 8 guys. There's just been a little bit of injury, maybe, a UDFA that ends up, you're like, okay, we actually don't think this guy's got a chance. And so you bring in somebody else, maybe more experienced. So it's not like, again, there's some meat market moves in the O-line. The notes that I do think matter a bit from over the weekend. Speaking of O-line, Lucas Patrick has been emerging as someone who is taking some 1 reps at left guards away from Nick Saldiveri. So as we try to figure out who the starters are going to be, McCoy, Ruiz, Penning, and Fuanga all seem pretty set still. But we thought Saldiveri's maybe in that crew as well, but Lucas Patrick having a good camp. He's fighting his way to maybe being your starting left guard. Your guy Horvath has been taking some first team reps from Adam Prentice as well at fullback. So Horvath starting to make a name. Though I want to revisit fullback in a second. Marshawn Lattimore has a hip injury that I don't know the severity of. He had to leave the practice. He had to leave the 3rd practice with it. He was out the 4th practice. He was there though. Brian Brzee missed day 4 dealing with a foot injury. Jake Hayner is dealing with, quote, non-life-threatening skin cancer, which is, a good news in that he was very clear about it being non-life-threatening, but obviously not ideal news for him personally. But let's get to the thing that I actually think is most interesting, Jake. And it is that we are finally garnering some insight into what Taysom Hill is going to do on this team. And funnily enough, I didn't expect it to go this way. It's exactly what we were all positing. He is going to be the Kyle Juszczyk of this team. He's working with a fullback group and individuals. They apparently in a lot of the packages with their pre-snap motions and shifts, he might go from fullback to tight end, back to fullback, or tight end to fullback, all within a single pre-play sequence. So they are, and basically it sounds like he had a conversation with Kubiak over the summer where he was like, look, throwing the ball's not out the window, but it is not going to be the thing. Every now and then maybe a gadget play, trick play, whatever. But no, we are going to take advantage of your athleticism first and foremost. So as I just thought we were being dumb radio guys connecting the obvious dots, but no, it looks like they are absolutely training him in that same vein of a Kyle Juszczyk.
Well, you have to have that position in this offense. And we, talked with Nick Underhill, and every person that runs this offense, every franchise, they've got somebody that kind of plays that position. And it's an important player on that position. I mean, the Dolphins pay their fullback, one of the highest in the league. Juszczyk, I think, is the highest in the league. And so they're going to have that role filled with somebody that they trust, and that's why they go get Xander Horvath in the offseason. I mean, that's somebody that was a draft choice a couple of years ago. Fullbacks not very often get drafted anymore, if ever. And then you have a Taysom Hill. And so he's going to do all those different things, and it's going to be a challenge for him. I mean, Juszczyk does a lot. I mean, he plays Y, he plays F, he plays H. He does a lot of different things. And when you have that versatility, we're always talking about it, you're trying to make sure that the defense can't tell what personnel that you're in, because you have kind of this unicorn that can kind of make you whatever personnel that you want it to be. Now, Taysom's got skills that even Juszczyk doesn't have as well. So, how much can they get out of that? Because obviously he's going to be a better – take the throwing out of it. He's going to be a better runner than Juszczyk is. Juszczyk can run. He's got some of that skill.
He's got more straight line speed.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, Taysom's got really good running skills. Yeah. I mean, he knows how to read a zone, a power, a counter, all those different things. And so you have that aspect of it as well. So it would be great to see Taysom fully for a full year, not in spurts of 3 games here, 2 games here, fully unlocked for a 17-game season.
I mean, it seems like he is, and I'm sure that Taysom at this point, or at least I say I'm sure, I would hope that he's kind of let go of whatever. I feel like back in the day, he really wanted to make the quarterback thing work. Right?
I mean, every quarterback that has questions about can they play quarterback or do they need to move positions. Tim Tebow, right? He was going to be a quarterback, and then it was taken away from him for like 2-3 years. He's like, oh, I'll play tight end. I'll try. Like, well, then it's too late.
Well, and I mean, and to Taysom's credit, he's kind of already let a lot of that go. And I think really probably maybe last year even especially, where he had so much value in those red zone packages and like Jake said, kind of underutilized with how effective he was during a lot of times. I think last year especially really realizing, okay, no, the reason why I got a $10 million deal contract, the reason why I'm really relevant in this league, it's just not that position. And so now then you combine that with Kubiak having what Taysom Hill called a very frank discussion with him this summer. And yeah, man, it becomes very exciting. And for Hill, it'd be exciting. I mean, they're talking about making you know, the straw that stirs the drink here. The piece that kind of makes everything work around it, even if it's not always with a ball in your hand. So I'm now very excited to see the role that Taysom Hill is going to play on this year's Saints team. And if it's as on the nose as maybe it appears to be now, or maybe it's something a bit more subtle, I guess it remains to be seen. But certainly something to watch going forward in the rest of Saints training camp. And certainly hope that Marshall Lattimore's hip's okay as well. Don't love seeing foot next to Brian Brzee either. I don't think anything's, nothing too serious yet. But those are just potentially.
Yeah, with a big fella.
Yeah.
A foot's one of the worst things that you can see.
Yeah, you don't ever see that. All right, when we get back, let's go ahead and wrap up hour number 1 of Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, and if you need steel, well, it's right there in Gonzales, Louisiana, and it's local, and it's all made right there on site, right? They go straight to the wholesalers, and they manufacture all your purlin, tubing, roofing, sheet metal, steel accessories, trim. It's all there. And that means that there's no middleman jacking up the price on the back end. These aren't national companies that know they can take advantage of because you don't have a choice. We're just a number on a spreadsheet. You're dealing with robots, answering machines. No, this is humans, the best prices, the best product that you can see and taste and touch before you buy. So for all your steel needs, you want to go to the local guys. Go to Community Steel Company.
Go to the website, communitysteelco.com, and we always tell you, go see them in Gonzales, Louisiana as well. Top right corner of the website tells you exactly where they're located. They're already open, been open for 45 minutes, so go see them. But if you can't, that is okay. You can give them a call today at 225-647-2020.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Mosco.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap the Bayou Splash recruiting event, and we'll head out to Irvine to get a camp update from the Saints. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Wait, so spoiler free. Did everybody watch House of Dragons? What do you think?
Yes.
We excited for the finale next week?
Very
I
excited.
think we're set up pretty great.
Yeah.
Pretty great, pretty solid episode. Couple of setup episodes back to back, which is a bit surprising given the torrid pace that the show started on. But I think House of Dragons continues to be Game of Thrones. Like, you know, when Game of Thrones is at its best, I think it continues to basically operate at that level. And so if you were on the fence about it, I would say to definitely go check it out. I finished The Boys as well. And, I mean, I feel like, you know, I know family this weekend, so that's all I really did was just watch TV. It was great. But I think The Boys is okay. I mean, whatever. I'll stick around for the final season, see what's going to happen. Got a bit better as the season went on, but nothing too wild. See, look at this right here, dude. This is what I'm talking about. So we just went from women's field hockey, which is that ended in a tie, to now.
Oh, my gosh. I would bust my
now
ass.
insane competitive mountain biking downhill through really wild obstacles and rocks and trails and whatnot. Look at how smooth they're handling this stuff. I mean, you how do you even train? You train your entire life for this, and you better not screw it up now. When you're here, this is pretty awesome. I'm with you though, Taylor. I just need to know when Kayak Cross is.
So I found out it's August 2nd.
Okay.
So this Friday.
Let's go. Just a few more days till we get to watch people do battle in a simulated raging whitewater river. Man, these guys are smooth with it.
Yeah, I do hate that, like the one sport that I went professional in, there's no chance you can ever represent your country. And I don't know what that team they have that's losing to Japan and Austria
the under 20
is.
team. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but
They got
obviously
excommunicated. They weren't allowed back in the U.S.
no, you can't. But man, watching like Mighty Ducks 2 and seeing them beat Iceland and they got to sing "We Are the Champions of the World," never know that feeling.
No. I mean, what did Noah Lyles say a while ago that everybody got all mad about? Something about maybe he was talking about the NBA. He was talking about calling them world champions, but then he's like, it's the National Basketball Association, which that was probably the wrong sport to do that attack pattern in, because
You can do it in the NFL for sure.
you can do it in the NFL. You're not really world champions in the NFL. You're definitely just American champions. But NBA's pretty global. I mean, that's one of the cooler parts about watching this Dream Team compared to back in the 90s is the growth of the international game. Like back then, you weren't gonna see 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic there on lined up across from you, surrounded by a bunch of other NBA players as well. I mean, there's NBA players littered throughout the other countries that just weren't around there when we were kids 20, 25 years ago. So
I mean, so yeah, some of the countries, but like Puerto Rico's got Jose Alvarado, they got Tremont Waters, and that's kind of like their two guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know they took a loss, but they both played well. And so, like, even teams that aren't littered with NBA players, you can still tell what it means for them.
Well, yeah, and it's, again, it's just the growth of the, I guess I'm just going back to what Lyles was talking about, saying not world championship, where, again, the NBA has gone global in such a way that I think world champions and the rosters are so international now that I believe that you can call an NBA Finals champion a world champion, and nobody should be too upset about it. But you can also call a gold medal winner a world champion, and here's to hoping this basketball team can continue to find their way to a gold medal.
Some of the best basketball players aren't even American.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I mean, the guy just won MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, it's got to be a bit validating for the business people of the NBA, given that this was a very concerted effort. None of this happened by accident, right? In terms of outreach and growing the game globally and investing in different places in different countries, and it's worked. It's worked. All right, coming up next hour here on OTB, we'll continue to kind of recap the weekend, everything that happened. I want to start to talk a little LSU training camp as it's right around the corner, guys. Going to be cranking up this Thursday. What are you most excited for? What's kind of got your interest? The position battles you should be watching. Where is LSU most unsettled? Can't wait to see what Nassa's going to do. I mean, I'm getting very excited about him. After we had Matt on the other day, and I basically thought that Matt was maybe going to poo-poo some of the expectations that were being put on us. And not only did he not do that, he kind of reinforced them, saying, no, like, this guy's ready, and he's ready to dominate. And so we'll start to get our first tastes of that coming up on Thursday. So keep it locked. Hour 2 of Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. If you want to recapture that youthful, energetic feeling that you used to have, get your labs drawn today. It's a free consultation. You draw your labs. Your body tells them where your body's strong, where it's deficient. They then customize a plan for you to get you where you want to be. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's semaglutide. The thing is, it's not, again, none of this is one size fits all, right? And they have a ton of different treatment options. So if you got facial aging, andropause, menopause, any of that, okay? A ton of different symptoms. If you just feel you want to feel younger, better, you want Rejuve Me Medical.
Go to the website today. Top right corner of the website is where you can start your journey. Now, remember, they are throughout Louisiana, in North Louisiana now, up in Shreveport, of course, here in the Baton Rouge area, now in Mississippi as well. So get the consultation set up. Again, you can do it by going to the website, RejuveMeMedical.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Érase una vez un Infinity, diseñado para despertar tu imaginación y desafiarte a soñar, con 3 lujosas filas de asientos. El totalmente nuevo Infinity QX80 de 3 filas.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, July 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 94 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll talk LSU football, defensive line rotation, the top 25 college football players of the 21st century, and more. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. Hour number 2 of OTB, hanging out here on this Monday, July 29th, 2024. Wow. Wow. Already almost through the month of July, guys. That's crazy. This year seems to be flying by, which is great. The offseason flying by. Football season almost here once again. In fact, LSU football will be starting up camp this Thursday, right? So, we'll continue to preview, and then finally the long dark of the offseason will be over. We'll start getting training camp reports, and then before you know it, everything is going to be on the line week 1 against USC. And I don't know about y'all, but the closer that we get to this game, its importance just becomes more and more obvious. I have called it the most important game in the Brian Kelly era at LSU. I would argue that sentiment rings more true than ever. And you know, it's so funny, Jake, because really on paper, I do think that you look pretty superior. The organization, the organizational image of LSU right now is, like I said, so cohesive, so forward moving, not a lot of drama. The same cannot be said for Lincoln Riley, who came away as looking very defensive during Big Ten media days. He has, we all know about the games that he's already canceled or been trying to cancel, LSU included in that mix. He's gotten worse at quarterback, and yet now will try to be better. But it's so funny because with these big games, you think about them so much that eventually you start to think about the other side. And I wonder, even though there are so many reasons on paper to really like LSU, have I gone too far with it? Like, just expecting LSU to win, am I being too flippant with a Lincoln Riley offense going against an LSU defense that was god-awful last year?
No, I mean, the offense for USC is going to have some new challenges as well. Will it be schematically like top notch? Yeah, probably so. That's the one thing that Lincoln Riley has always been. Like, there's some things in his head coaching career that make you scratch your head, but as far as a offensive coordinator, play designer, then yeah, he's one of the best there is in the country. But you don't just lose a Caleb Williams and expect to be the same team. You lose some top targets in Brendan Rice and others. Like, there's a lot that's going to be different for this USC offense, just like with the LSU offense. But I think we know Nussmeier better than we know Moss for USC.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm probably guilty of going too far opposite direction on Miller Moss because I did not, even though he put up crazy numbers in the bowl game, when you actually watch the highlights themselves, I thought they were a bit sketchy in that, like, a lot of it was basically just really lobbing the ball and like a lot of loft. He looked like me playing quarterback out there on NCAA 25, except his receivers were going up and just snagging it over the DBs as opposed to the other way around. But again, I'm
I
probably
felt some bitterness in that.
I mean, no, it's all me. I'm garbage. But again, nowhere to go but up, guys. But so I'm probably guilty of going too far that direction because at the end of the day, he still threw for what, like 5 or 6 touchdowns, like 3.
He had a big day.
Yeah, in that bowl game.
I think it was 6.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? Which is crazy. So it's like, okay, am I? So now again, in the build up to these big games, you run the full gamut of emotions, and so that is my question: should I be more concerned about Miller Moss, a guy who threw 6 touchdowns in the bowl game, and what he could do to an LSU secondary? Like, I want to talk position battles here in a minute that we're going to be watching, and cornerback would be one of those key position battles. Who's going to start? Is it going to be Javen Toviano all of a sudden kind of out of the equation? Is it going to be Ashton Stamps? Going to be PJ Woodland? And then if it is, will they be better than the Louisville DBs who absolutely got cooked in that bowl game? Like, are they that much better? Is it J.K. Johnson? Is Jair Brown? How's Alexander doing after surgery? So I guess it is interesting to see what should be a strength of USC kind of match up so perfectly with a group that will be, is unproven the right word? Or maybe like we're not, I'm just not exactly where the potential of that cornerback room lies right now.
There's a lot of questions up for this game. I mean, when you look at both teams, they mirror each other with the offensive success. The Heisman Trophy quarterbacks you're trying to replace. Now, LSU's receivers are different than USC's. USC's were 7th-round choices. LSU's were 1st-round choices. But you had wholesale changes on your defensive staff. I mean, you cleaned house. You brought other people in, and you're trying to change it. And they look very similar. And it's going to come down to the main position, the quarterback position, which one plays better. But both these teams are searching for their identity and who they're going to be with their new staff. Like for USC, defensively, can they have an identity? They played so soft over the last couple of years, right? It hasn't been necessarily.
You were worse last year, which is crazy, but you were technically worse. But
it hasn't been a lot of like MAs and stuff. Like LSU had a ton of MAs. Like nobody was on the same page. Communication was so poor.
That's
tackling
true.
Was as well. But the USC question was physicality in a lot of cases. If they played a physical football team, if they played Utah, if they played Tulane, if they played somebody that came right at them, they struggled with that.
Yeah. And I mean, this LSU offensive line should really be able to handle that defense. But again, vice versa is the same thing true for USC. I think their offensive line took a step back last year. I haven't read into them yet as to how good they'll be this year. But going back to position battles, defensive tackle opposite of Jacobin Guillory is probably number 1 going into camp because you have 3 new faces that haven't got a chance to put their best foot forward yet, right? You got Gio Paez, the Wisconsin transfer, Javier Suggs, the Grand Valley State transfer, and then, of course, the 5-star Dominic McKinley. And remember, Brian Kelly was stumping for this group at SEC Media Day, saying that, look, we have enough there to accomplish our goals. But I wonder, it's usually pretty, it's tough. It's a tough ask for someone to come in at fall camp after having missed spring and immediately win that starting job But do we feel like who's ever opposite of Jacoby and Guillory, will it be one of those 3 new guys?
Probably not at the beginning of the season. You know how like beginning of the season.
So who else is it then though? I'm trying to remember. I mean, Chemo, McAneole. Oh, okay, yep. You still got Jalen Lee. Is Jalen Lee in line?
Because typically what you'll see, and you've been through this before, T, is like the older guy is going to start the season, even like in game number 1, like they'll get the first time out there, first couple of series, and it's like here comes the young guy, and you slowly integrate him into the starting lineup. And so first game early on, it'll probably be an older guy.
I wonder if LSU has that luxury though. I wonder, and if Dominic McKinley is as good as what's being, as the guy in front of him, do you go there so you start to develop him and give him reps? I don't know, but that's got to be position battle number 1 in my mind is D tackle opposite of Jacoby and Guillory. What would be y'all's second biggest position battle that you're keeping an eye on?
I think running back for me. I mean, obvious choice, just being the position, but I know it's going to be by committee, but what is going to be your bell cow? Are you going to have a bell cow? Is it going to be like a true, because every by committee can be different. Like you can have a bell cow and be by committee.
Yeah.
The bell cow gets 70% and then you break up the other 30%, or is it truly going to be like 30, 30, 30 and, 10% left for some? We don't know. I mean, you have Caleb Jackson, you have Josh Williams, but then John Emery coming back, I think that changes a little bit. And I know that when we brought up John Emery the other day, the chat's like kind of besmirching that a little bit. I'm like, well, hold up now. Like, I'm not saying it's always there because it's not, but when it is, he can still take over a game.
Yeah, Emery's just a question of health, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, coming off obviously an ACL tear, and they, that injury is completely different than it used to be, but like, I actually would love to see one of these running backs kind of take the job in training camp and be RB1 and then figure out everything else underneath him.
It feels like most people are maybe banking on Caleb Jackson being that guy. But again,
you got to get better in pass protections, got to hold on to the football better.
In classic fashion, I mean, Josh Williams is just going to be ignored. And then what he's probably going to give you is uber reliable, effective, consistent play. Maybe not home runs, but Josh Williams is so proven on this level. He has the confidence of being a 17th year senior where everything feels just like it's moving in slow motion around him.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be too big. Like, I think there's a very good chance that the consistency of Josh Williams ends up winning the day over the other guys. Because I got too many questions about Emery's health. Like you said with Jackson, there's the problems of youth in terms of pass blocking and assignments and whatnot.
And those are things that you have to be better in your sophomore year. And hopefully he is, because he's uber talented. But that gets you so far. And, he's putting the work in, but you have to make sure the minor details of those things, ball security, especially when you're a back that is a physical back and you want to punish the defense. That's when you have to be aware of your ball security more than any other time, because you're having collisions with the defense, right? Yeah. It was something that I had to learn. It's like, no, hey, when you're about to try to lower the boomstick, man, you've got to make sure that thing is high and tight, like last check in before you go in, or you're going to have a fumbling issue. And I know pass protection's not what it used to be as far as the assignments or the responsibilities in college football like it used to be. You used to have more pro-style offenses where it was something you had to make sure. But still, like when your number's called, you can't have a tendency. It's like if Caleb Jackson's in the game, he's getting the football. Like it can't be that. And so that's his challenge this camp, is to prove that he can do things without the football because, like you said, Josh Williams is going to do those things.
So I still kind of view Josh as RB1. But, again, like Jake said, how much of an RB1? Like T-Po in the chat says he's guessing like Williams gets 50%, maybe Caleb 30%, and then Emery Durham 10% apiece. We will see. Taylor, do you have a big position battle that you're looking forward to?
I mean, it's corner just because you're so inexperienced there. I mean, I think Ashton Stamps has one of those locked down. I think he's played well enough to do that, especially the last couple games. They love P.J. Woodland, but you don't often see a true freshman corner roll out there game one and get the start, especially somebody like him who's about 165, 170 right now. And then you mentioned Zy Alexander, like that kind of throws a wrench in things. Like, oh, we could start Zy and Ashton Stamps, get PJ Woodland up to speed. You can't really do that right now. Kelly says he's going to be ready for fall camp. So, I mean, I think the health of Zy Alexander is huge for that group.
Tough to...
Just got a different body type than the other corners.
Yeah. Just tough to think about covering like a Zachariah Branch.
That's what I'm saying.
Coming
like your
off
first
of an ACL
game,
from after 8 months. It's a quick, tiny little boy to try to keep up with.
And it's like, who do you trust more, the guy coming back from the ACL or the true freshman who's never played college football before? Like that's the biggest one I'm watching, opposite of Ashton Stamps, who's going to be that outside guy.
Yeah, and there's still J.K. Johnson and Jair Brown floating around in that mix as well. So a lot. I mean, look, man, it's a lot of question marks that I think will be answered positively. I've been so confident in the USC game for so long that I'm almost just getting like a tad bit of like last second waffling here, just because of how things have gone in these opening games the last few years, and combined with just some objective rumination on kind of this the question marks that you have versus the strengths of the team. Like, I just worry that I don't want to go too far with the Lincoln Riley sucks stuff, and then I end up getting burned by that because, oh, wait, no, this is still one of the best offensive minds that we've ever seen, and he just dominated you here in week one. You better be ready to do the same? Because, like, they got their, I was going to say they got their OC still having Riley, whereas, obviously, we never even talked about the fact that you just lost Mike Denbrock from a team that had one of the greatest offenses of all time. I think I'm confident in Sloan Hankton, and the bowl game was great, and so I actually don't think it matters that much, but there would be others who would argue that, well, y'all are really just glossing over that, aren't you?
We can have that conversation, but I want to ask you, is it a bigger advantage for Blake Baker and the defensive staff to have Lincoln Riley in the first game with months to prepare for him, more so than like an in-season game number 6, where you have a week to prepare?
I mean, I think,
because we talk about chasing ghosts all the time here, but
I think probably this first game, because you have all the tape on Riley, you've got a game on Moss, whereas they're going to be studying Mizzou tape and maybe some old LSU tape, where like, so you kind of have a dual benefit of added prep time and the surprise attack.
Yeah.
The relative unknown is more on your side, I would say.
Anytime you have to watch dual tape, and what T-Bob's talking about is this staff is going to have to watch LSU tape from a year ago to go over personnel.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to watch Mizzou tape to go over scheme.
Yeah.
And so when you're in these coaching offices, like, you're trying to figure out how much time do we give to this, to that, because you can't just watch for LSU. They're going to watch USC tape. Like, when you look at USC's offense, I mean, it's a lot of the same guys. And in fact, you're not going to have really too many new faces as far as transfers outside of Woody Marks coming from Mississippi State, who at running back.
Yep,
like,
good running back.
He is. He's really good. I mean, he can catch the ball in the backfield as good as anybody in the country at that position. So Woody Marks is somebody, though, you've played against Woody Marks enough to know who he is. Now, defensively, they'll probably have 5 or 6 new starters from the portal, but offensively, their starting 11 outside of one guy is going to be guys that were with USC a year ago. So you have the luxury of really watching one tape. USC's got to figure out what they want to do. Do we watch Mizzou? Do we watch LSU? What's that mixture going to look like?
Yeah, so I think that's probably advantage.
Yeah,
LSU. But we'll see, man. We'll see. We're so close, guys. How many days away is it now?
It's 34.
34 days. Wow. We're nearly within 30. Who's the best 34?
I mean, people in the chat were saying Johnny Robinson. The best I saw, the one that comes to my mind, Stephen Ridley.
Oh, Rid was 34. Why had I forgotten that? Yeah, hell yeah.
Was he?
I'll ride with that.
All right, dude. Ricky.
Feels like such a random number. T-Bow says, I feel like Denbrock will get exposed this year. Hold on now. Let's not go too far here, guys. Denbrock's been a very good OC for a long time now. It was a very good OC with you. And I'm pretty sure he'll do just fine with Riley Leonard at Notre Dame. Probably won't throw 8 picks if yesterday's game that I played is any indication. All right. When we get back here on Off the Bench, let's do a little trip down memory lane, kind of like we did with the NFL the other day, but let's do college version. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to ColemanRoof.com. ColemanRoof.com. That gets it for Coleman Roofing and Construction. Okay, Louisiana's most reliable and most respected roofing company. Here at Coleman, we are committed to providing you top-notch services and ensuring your satisfaction throughout the process. Okay, I always talk about this. That's from like the original estimate, when the work is going on, all the way through cleanup to make sure you're happy, you're satisfied, you're getting quality work, and you achieve a sturdy and beautiful roof. And it's residential, it's commercial, it's anywhere in the state, it's any type of roof, and it's the interior construction as well. Go to ColemanRoof.com.
Yeah, when you go to that website, you will see their contact information throughout the state of Louisiana, commercial and residential. They can help you throughout the state. So no matter where you're listening to us here in the state of Louisiana, we are talking to you. Give them a call. They are truly a one-stop shop. They can do it all, like T-Bob tells you every single day. Go to the website today, ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. All the news from the Bayou Splash. Plus, Saints camp rolls on, and it's LSU camp week as well. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. T-Pal says, not saying that Mike Denbrock is bad, but Josh Pate mentioned Notre Dame as the highest-ranked coordinators going into the season. I think Jaden inflated that ranking a lot. Well, but, okay, again, the problem is, yes, okay, to be fair, you can have coexisting truths. Mike Denbrock has had very good years as an OC when you go look at Notre Dame and Cincinnati. That said, one of the storylines going into last year's season was he had never had like really overwhelmingly great quarterback play. It had been solid to very good. And so, yes, Jaden probably brought him to new heights. But that said, I do think it's still a very good coordinator. But again, we about to see. Time will tell.
We gonna find out today.
So the other day we looked at the top. This is from an ESPN article. The top 25 athletes, the top 25 NFL players of the 21st century. Well, now we have the college version written by Bill Connolly, who I think is fantastic. Probably definitely a top 3 college football writer to me, if not maybe my favorite actually. But where does Joe Burrow fall on this list? Again, this is 21st century. It's not all the time, guys, okay? Number 5 on this list, you got Ed Reed. Imagine that, making both lists. What a legend. Ed Reed, what was he? Was he top 15 or top 20?
I think he was like 11.
11th
or so.
on the NFL list. He is 5th on the college football list. Had 17 picks. He had 4 pick sixes from 2000 to 2001. Absolutely insane. Unanimous All-American, Big East Player of the Year, College Football Hall of Famer. So the 4th most picks in NCAA history. I mean, Ed Reed's resume speaks for itself. He had 4 block punts.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
It's possible because I had to be a wing and block Ed Reed before. I know it can be possible. Man, when that pigeon toe would get slanted a little bit, you're like, oh man, he's about to try to ruin my day.
Was he pigeon toed, you mean?
Yeah. And you look and he get that thing ready to go, and you're like, oh man.
Hell yeah. I'm pigeon toed.
Terrifying. Well, he's a little bit more springy than you.
I don't know. It's pigeon toed people are fast, dude.
That's what all people say that have. Like, I'm bow-legged. I'm like, it makes you faster.
Bow-legged people are fast, though. That's true. Also, if you were a Mongolian horse archer, you'd be very well suited for it.
Okay.
So they're firing, shooting birds out of the sky while at full gallop because you've trained yourself from a child not to release the arrow till all 4 hooves are in the air.
Just imagine if LSU would have been like in its golden era when Ed Reed was coming out of Destrehan and he would have played for LSU. That'd have been fun.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been tight to have the 5th best player of the 21st century on your favorite school. That would be super tight.
Yeah.
They got Vince Young at number 4, of course. I mean, look, the accomplishments and stats are all great, but really also for Young, it's that natty. To win a natty like he did, to do it at the last second like he did. It's one of the most legendary games in college football history. Of course, Vince Young is number 4 on this list. Okay, so what? Burrow's probably at 3? No, Cam Newton checking in at number 3. Interesting because, it's just the 1 year, but it's the most overwhelming year I've ever seen. And to be fair, I probably would have had him almost maybe number 1 on my list. Well, look, he's the best football player that I've ever seen in real life, certainly. And he took that team and just forced it to a national championship that they never would have touched otherwise.
The fact that he did what he did, though, with nobody else really around him.
Yeah.
And he was the only pro on offense, right? The only guy that had
and
any
Fairley
kind of
was
NFL
the only one on defense. Yeah.
career. Like, he took the SEC over by himself. Mm-hmm. And we all know how hard that is. And it was a time when the SEC was not down by any means. I mean, you still had LSU and Alabama as talented as any teams in the country. So, yeah, any list like this, Cam Newton deserves to be in the top 3. And I think we put him as our number 1 when we did that a couple of months ago.
I'm always stumping for Cam Newton 1. The only thing that you can attack his resume from is that it is a 1-year resume. So if you wanted to go more volume or maybe you wanted to see to experience the other side, That makes sense. Okay.
All he needed was 1 year. I mean, look, he went through some trials and tribulations when he was at Florida, gets kicked out of school, goes to junior college, and then finds his way back at Auburn. But he had 1 year there, and he made the most of it.
All right. Well, so Joe Burrow. No, actually, Baker Mayfield. Taylor, keep it in your pants. Baker Mayfield checking in as the second best player of the 21st century. Are we getting into a little controversy here?
Yes, because you can't play that position, be number 2 on a list like this, and not have a ring. Can't do it. You don't even have a playoff win. You lost to Georgia. It was a great game in the Rose Bowl.
It was
one of the best ones we've ever had.
It's the best college football playoff game we've ever seen, actually, objectively. There has not been a better. There's not been a better playoff game.
That one was fantastic. I mean, we had some this year that tried their best.
Oh yeah, great. No, there's been other good games, but I mean,
not
54.
Really, though.
Not. I mean, kind of not really.
Not really.
54-48 OT.
Sony Michel walk off.
Yeah.
So you can't be number 2 on this list. And
he's a walk-on. Come on, dude. That's
I'm not
grit. I know, but that's grit. That is grit personified. That's the 2-star. He is the epitome of the 2-star rise.
You can't be above quarterbacks that had just as good of years as you that won the national championship.
Agreed.
Here we go. Okay, so Baker Mayfield, if you want to argue for him, he's won the Heisman, the Maxwell, the Walter Camp, the Davey O'Brien, the Burlsworth. In 2017 unanimous All-American, 2015 first-team All-American,
great.
2017 Offensive Player of the Year, first-team All-Big 12 all 3 years. He averaged 4,100 yards a season and threw for 131 touchdowns. So compared to a Newton or a Burrow, this is a guy who has the volume. 3 straight Big 12 titles.
But Burrow has all those same awards plus a natty, and he was a backup at Ohio State. So if you want to use walk-on.
Again, but Burrow has the 1 year. He's like Cam Newton. He has the 1 year.
And Cam Newton's number 1.
Well, I mean,
Cam Newton's 3.
Joe had a
On our
solid
list,
2018. Went to the Fiesta Bowl, won that one.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, bro, but that ain't.
I'm saying, but you can add those stats too.
Yeah, but it ain't. But it ain't even close to Baker's 3 seasons here.
No.
I would not have Baker Mayfield 2 on a list, but his resume is wilder than I thought it was. That's actually insane. Number 1. Who do you think is number 1 on the list? Do y'all know? Have you seen it?
I do know, and I've got qualms with this one as well.
Bill Connolly has Ndamukong Suh as the most dominant college football player of the 21st century. Now, there's some numbers in here that are pretty mind-blowing.
Yep.
I did not realize how insane his 2009 is. 20 and a half TFLs and 12 sacks, which is crazy. But the Big 12 championship game is what jumps off here. Big 12 championship game against Texas, trying to will Nebraska to a Big 12 championship. And Ndamukong Suh had 7 TFLs and 4.5 sacks in one game.
Yeah.
On that stage when you got to have it.
It was great. I remember talking with Bo Pelini about that game, like in that next offseason. And he's like, I've never seen anything like it. And that's somebody that coached Glenn Dorsey, who we think is, the best defensive tackle in school history here.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I mean, look, incredible. But if you're going to have a defensive player number 1, I'm biased, it's going to be Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann, when I say should have.
Both Heisman finalists.
They were. But Tyrann should have received more love because during that time, LSU before the last game was the best team, not only in that season, but y'all were like an all-time team to the point before you lose the national championship game.
Yeah.
And Tyrann was an X factor on a team that had multiple NFL guys littered all through the roster, and he was a step and a half above everybody else.
I agree.
Like he did things that we had never really seen. I mean, he's rushing off the edge, he's intercepting passes, he's returning punts, he's covering your best receiver, like all those things. And so, yeah, I'm biased, but on this list, Tyrann came in at number 23. There ain't 22 better than what we saw Tyrann Mathieu do in college.
Well, look, and we still don't know where Joe Burrow is, so let's respect the clock here a bit. He's not top 5. How far down the list do you have to go till you find your Lord and Savior Joe? We'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction. That's PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. And guys, I really want to push you to the website because that's a great way to get eyes on the projects that I'm talking about. But any outdoor construction that you need, if it's a custom, completely custom pool, maybe a spec pool where you still choose from a bunch of templates and you do the detail work, and so you make it your own. Anyway, if you want to build pergolas, bulkheads, any size, type of fence, any outdoor kids, you want to put some turf back there, well, guess what? At Pinnacle, they build the spaces, you build the memories, and that's the point. You want to make your home your greatest asset, the thing you're most excited, make it the place where you and your family constantly want to be. At Pinnacle, they can help you accomplish those dreams. Go to PECbuilt.com.
Yeah, it is not too late. Just because we've got August approaching, it is not too late. We always tell you about the timetable over with Pinnacle. Pools, outdoor living, fences, and bulkheads, PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap the Bayou Splash recruiting event, and we'll head out to Irvine to get a camp update from the Saints. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
A lot of debate going on. People are upset. Joey B, where is he on this list? He's the greatest football player we've ever seen. You got Tyron down there at 21. Joey's not even top 25 when you got Baker Mayfield and Ndamukong Suh in there. You got Vince Young in there. Well, number 6, guess who you got? Tim Tebow. Oh, yeah. And what is sure to trigger the masses. But look, I mean, if we're being honest, this makes sense. He has the championships. He has multiple great individual years. The awards that he's won are, I mean, overwhelming. So, yeah, Tebow checks all the boxes. I think the bigger upset here is that Tebow's not top 5, honestly. Is that if Vince Young beat out Tebow? I would have thought that Tebow would, or maybe even over Newton. I know a lot of people generally like to debate. I thought Tebow would have been there. So, still not at 6. Anything on Tim at 6? Do we have any problems there?
No, I mean, I don't have any issues with Tim Tebow being up there. I mean, I think I've laid out. I don't ever put him number 1 on a list like this because if he played in today's college football, I'm just curious like what that would look like. But it still doesn't take away from what he did, and so no, number 6 feels right.
Number 7, Reggie Bush. Yeah. I mean, one of the most electric players we've ever seen in our entire life. How many natties did they win there, 2?
No, 1.5.
1.5. Okay, and then they lost, and then obviously they were looking for the 3-peat, and that's when they lost to Texas and Vince Young, and again that's why because Taylor had some interesting points about why it's like Vince Young over Colt McCoy when Colt McCoy has so many more volume stats. But it's because of Young's kind of singular year and beating that USC team. Beating a team with Reggie Bush. And like if Colt McCoy beats that Alabama team and wins a natty, he's probably on this list as well. And he might be on the list. I haven't even seen the whole thing yet. But yeah, Reggie Bush, sure. Absolutely. At 7. Number 8. Here's an inspired choice, guys. Bryant McKinney from Miami. 2001 Outland winner, 2001 unanimous All-American. How about this? In 2001, 8th in Heisman voting. Put some respect on that man. I have never heard of an offensive lineman finishing 8th in Heisman voting. Now, I'm pretty sure that that a lot of people are going to be very upset that an O-lineman's making it over a quarterback, but I think this is right. I think representation matters. Shout out Brian McKinney, 8th best player of the 21st century. Due to the combine, he measured 6'8", 343. It's a big boy. He'd just probably rip you in half if you wanted to. Intestines spilling everywhere. Anything on McKinney, Jake? It's hard to form an argument like too much for or against because it's like, yeah, he's like unbelievable, but like, it's tougher for us to be like, oh, this O-lineman was great versus like quarterback greatness is so obvious and easy to see.
He was really good. I think a lot of people expected him to be a little bit more in the NFL. And he played a long time in the NFL. He was solid, but coming out of college, those Miami teams that had, all the first rounders, like he was the first of I think that class from Miami.
Yeah, he said in the 11 players selected in 2002 draft, the first one to hear his name called, Brian McKinney.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, Reggie Bush was good in the NFL, but he was never college Reggie Bush, right? So these things happen. So we're up to 8 guys. No Joe Burrow. Okay, finally at number 9, sneaking in the top 10, Joey B. Joe Burrow. Yeah.
You telling me that anybody that had any of the first 8 picks, if this was like a real draft, like would pass on Joe that many times?
So making it a draft situation is a bit different, right? Because you're always going to draft a quarterback. So if we were to do a draft, it would probably read something like some mixture of like Joe, Cam, Young, whatever. Like it would be all the quarterbacks off the board. Then we get somebody be like, ooh, I want Reggie Bush. But no, I mean, yeah, look, it would. I think if you were to put, okay, so who are the quarterbacks that finished ahead? Baker, most everybody's going to take Joe. 100%. Cam, that's going to be a little more up in the air. Vince Young, I think most would take Joe. Tebow, I think most would take Joe. I'm not sure. So I think there's arguments to be made. I do like how Collie pointed out, though. He's like, regardless of whether or not you think LSU 2019 was the greatest team of the century, they were without a doubt the coolest team of the century and one of the coolest teams of all time. And it's funny because that's all like kind of because of Joe. Like they took on Joe's entire just cool guy persona.
You know what? Who are the 3 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL now?
So it's going to be Jordan Love,
Trevor Lawrence,
Joe Burrow.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Right? Who did Joe beat in 2019?
Beat them all.
All 3 of those guys.
Beat them all. It's like Ash catch him, but Ash beat him. It's a bad Pokemon joke.
Yeah, really bad.
I'm saying instead of catch them all, you beat them all.
But I mean, like within that season, the schedule, everything. Again, the 3 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, other than you beat them in that 2019 season.
It's a very fair point. I had not considered that. That's kind of insane. As Conley points out as well, his 2-game CFP is stupid. 60 for 88, 956 yards, 12 touchdowns, and no picks. When you're supposed to be playing the best teams in the entire country.
Yeah.
So Joe Burrow, look, of course, would we have him higher? Probably, but checking in at number 9 on this list. And then the top 10 rounded out with Larry Fitzgerald, who was incredible at Pitt.
And if he went somewhere other than Pitt, we'd probably talk about him a lot.
He'd have all the awards. I mean, he probably would have won the Heisman. He was still a Heisman runner-up as a Pitt wide receiver. 03 Biletnikoff, 03 Walter Camp, Big Ten Player of the Year, unanimous All-American, College Football Hall of Fame. It all, yeah. It speaks for itself. Your boy T. I'll just run through the rest of this quickly here. Your boy T. Sizzle, Terrell Suggs at number 11.
Probably talking ish right now to somebody.
Joe Thomas out of Wisconsin at 12. Khalil Mack. Oh, he was a force at Buffalo, dude. He's number 13. Aaron Donald, 14 at Pitt. David Pollock coming in at 15. Deshaun Watson, 16. Roy Williams from Oklahoma at 17. Kyler Murray at 18. That's kind of surprising. But again, I'm probably just guilty of thinking too much about NFL Kyler. Devontae Smith, of course, his unreal Heisman winning year at wide receiver of Bama. Lamar Jackson at 20. Justin Blackmon, hell yeah, Justin Blackmon was a beast. 2-time Biletnikoff winner at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Will Anderson, yeah, that makes sense, at 22. Tyrann Mathieu at 23. Julius Peppers, J. Peps, let's go, dude.
He was so good. He was so big.
Yeah, as Bill points out, no one else on this list had a double-double in NCAA March Madness game. And then Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin. I prefer Ron Dane, but we'll take Jonathan Taylor.
Ron Dane wouldn't have been in.
Yeah, he was in the 90s.
Yeah, he was in the 90s.
Yeah. But a 2-time Doak Walker Warner. There is your top 35 player of 21st century. All right.
So no Jets, no Jamar, not even in the first 10 out they have on this list.
Well, we can get to that when we get back here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. You need somebody who's going to stand up to the big insurance company, somebody who's going to fight for you. The way I'm watching this U.S. women's water polo team fight, God, that's so crazy. They can't touch, guys. And if you ever feel like you got thrown in the deep end, you're trying to tread water, well, guess what? Gordon, they can help you out, man. Reach down that hand and get you what you deserve. So you get in an accident, call 225-888-8888 and get what you deserve. If you go to getgordon.com, you can see real results, satisfied customers. You got to give all the community. You follow them on social media at GetGordon. You see great content with your favorite athletes from the G team. Get Gordon, get it done today.
Again, where do they play water polo? It blows my mind.
California's huge.
Is it? Okay.
Play a lot in Cali.
I live there, didn't know it. GetGordon.com is the website. Get Gordon is always the handle on social media as well. Your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Musco.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
It's on. Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. All the news from the Bayou Splash. Plus, Saints camp rolls on, and it's LSU camp week as well. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. So if you hate the list, Taylor's got a pretty good argument against it. But the first 10 out were Crabtree, Dwight Freeney, Robert Gallery. He was a dog. RG3, Calvin Johnson, Derek Johnson, Luke Kuechly. I forgot Kuechly went to Boston College. Trevor Lawrence, Marcus Mariota, and Christian McCaffrey. Taylor, why is this list null and void?
Well, because we were talking about it. Like, what does he actually like? Does he like the 1-year championship run better, or is he taking into consideration more total career? When you look at the top of the list, you're like, okay, he's got Baker too. Baker had a great college career. Hey, he's considering career. But when you look at the guys that are right behind him, Cam Newton, 1-year championship run. Vince Young, he's remembered for the championship run. Burrow's remembered for the championship run. But then a guy like Colt McCoy, who I broke down the numbers during break, almost has the exact same numbers as Baker Mayfield, is nowhere on this list, and Baker's at number 2.
So you're saying so Baker's that high, but the whole argument, but it's like, hey, but he didn't win a championship. But you're saying Colt McCoy also didn't win a championship. So how do the numbers compare?
McCoy
not even on the first 10 out.
No, so not in the top 35. McCoy, 1,300 yards, 112 touchdowns, 45 interceptions, 70% completion. Baker, 1,400 yards, 130 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, 68.5% completion percentage. Colt has 500 more career rushing yards. Baker has 2 more career rushing touchdowns. One of them is at 2. The other is not in the top 35. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And Colt played for a national championship.
Thinking back on McCoy's weird, man, because he never I feel like I never really felt him as dominantly as those numbers would speak to. And I don't know why that is.
He was a quiet guy. Look, Baker was flashy. Baker had the off-the-field issues. He had the crotch grabbing. He played in a high-powered offense with Lincoln Riley.
Planting the flag in the middle of the field was so badass, dude.
He played under Mac Brown, who was old at the time. He didn't run his mouth or anything, but like Colt's
like the nicest human being. So
yeah,
he's been a co-host of mine before on Off Campus. Like even during the breaks, he's like the nicest human being.
So we think it's before. We think it's all. Oof! What a shot! God, water polo is so tight, dude. We think it's all just personality.
I mean, dude, T-Bob, 2008 alone.
As much as you feel a lot of the other guys on this list.
I mean, think about all the other quarterbacks on this list, like with Baker and Joe and VY and even Tim Tebow. Big, huge personalities.
Yeah, for sure.
Where Colt would rather just, go home to his family and.
It's like all these, fighters complaining about, oh, why does McGregor get this or that? Well, it's because he's entertaining.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So, you want to make an all-time list? Maybe you got to be a little flashier. I don't know. That's interesting. Taylor, I normally don't think you have very many good ideas or are generally that intelligent at all.
Thank you.
But these were some really good points made by you. So, congratulations. You, the blind squirrel, have started your Monday off with a nut, and that should feel really good for you.
I think Colt is actually a part of Poncho Clothing Company. I don't know if y'all know about them.
Yeah.
They are legit, and Colt's a part of that. So, still doing big things, even though he played like 17 years in the NFL.
Where did Poncho go from? Is this like a free? I thought y'all made me stuff for each other. What's going on with Poncho? Send me something. Send me a T-shirt. What is it? Shirts?
You may get you
is
one.
Is it ponchos?
No, you may get you one?
Yeah.
It's like they have fishing shirts. They have pearl snap, which I love a good pearl snap, Western shirt.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I wear jeans with boots now.
Oh, they got a shirt that would go perfect with your boots.
I'm probably ready for a pearl snap. Go to Trash Rangers.
Think how easy it'd be to show the chest there with a pearl snap.
That's what I'm saying, bro. A satisfying pop. Go to Trash Rangers, TrashRangersLLC.com, TrashRangersLLC.com. Look, man, your waste management needs, and they're right here, okay? If you're in a city or Livingston Parish, you need your residential, you want to change who does your residential pickup, well, guess what? You go to TrashSignup.com, it's a couple minutes, you select your number of cans, your days. They text you the night before, so you never forget them, and they're reliable, they're efficient, they are the best. But if you're a business owner, guys, remember, you need front load dumpsters. You need them emptied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. They understand the flexibility to run a business, and they are there for you with that flexibility. Trash Rangers.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, July 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 94. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have weekend winners at 9 a.m. We'll continue our discussion with the Olympics, and we close the show out like we do every day with Ask the Bench. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Absolute banger in the pool right now, guys. Spain taking a 5-4 lead on U.S. Little women's water polo after the penalty. Come on, ladies, drown him! There's nothing I hate more than somebody hanging on you when you're in the pool. It could be a kid. It could be anybody. It's just like immediately like, no.
I don't know about these underwater shots.
Oh, where you see all their legs churning and whatnot?
Yeah,
Look
but
at
like
that.
I'm
What a
real vulnerable right now. All right, I'm in my element. Like, chill out.
God. Come on, USA. They were up 3-1. Now it's 5-4.
I think it was 3-0.
I think it was 3-0. I think you're correct. Blowing the lead, guys. What are we doing, guys? I didn't commit. I didn't donate all that water polo money just for it to go down the drain. God, look at that. It's brutal, dude. I love it.
You better get your hands off me.
They got some real soccer in him too, where they're constantly hitting each other and then being like, "What? I didn't do like what? Like hands up? Like I didn't do anything." Only it's like way more physical than soccer.
All right, that felt like an unnecessary shot.
I mean, it's not. I love footy. And it's probably more physical than people give it credit for. They just don't give it credit because all the flopping and whatnot. But
this is like the annoying, like this one right here. Like I know you're not watching, but if you're, happen to be watching and
let's
listening
go.
to us, like stop hanging, get off me.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm throwing a bow.
Anytime anybody gets on you to pull, it immediately annoys me. It's like kind of panicky. You're like sinking. You're like, it's hard enough to swim as one person, much less two. And, okay, U.S. ties it up 5-5. Again, guys, go check it out. It's on, what is it on, USA?
USA.
Yeah. So,
God, how much USA since Suits was on there?
Yeah, I was going to, oh man, what joke was I going to make? Oh, Psych. I never watched Psych, but I feel like USA was huge with Psych.
I loved Psych.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
It's
Monk
He
was on
was like-
USA.
the
too,
guy
right?
had like a lot
I
of
was
like
gonna say Monk.
detective skills, but he tried to convince people that he was a psychic
he just
or something.
picked up on clues that other people didn't.
Yeah, just like a
so-
Sherlock.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It was good. Monk is kind of
Monk's
a little
definitely USA.
similar to that, right?
Yeah, Monk would be USA. I think Burn
Tony
Notice.
Shalhoub, I love him.
Well, yeah, who doesn't love Tony Shalhoub?
He was on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and he's my favorite character on that show.
He was on wait, Taylor, what movie did you get me to watch and I actually ended up not liking them? 13 Ghosts? Was it Tony
he's
Shalhoub
like
the main character
He
in
like
13
runs
Ghosts?
the castle or whatever the hell they're in that has all the ghosts in it.
Oh, I thought he was the main character. He's not the dad who's like, I don't know. I don't really remember 13 Ghosts. It wasn't as tight as I thought it was going to be. You don't need to. It's fine.
No, you're right. He was the dad.
He was the main character.
Yeah.
It was just, I thought it was such an interesting casting for a lead man, right? Like not necessarily a lot of like sex appeal. Doesn't seem particularly cool, but whatever. Look at Monk, Awesome. All right, let's do a little weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
Credit to the South Korean women's archery team. Okay, this event has been around for 10 Olympics, 40 years. And the winners of all 10 Olympics, the South Korean women team. Perfect. Gold every time. It came down to the literal final arrow this time in a tie break with China. Was it a 9? Was it a 10? It's so funny. So you shoot the arrows into the target, right? And if it touches the line, it's the closer one. And so after the shot, they're tied, but they have to review it because some are kind of on the line. And they get out a tiny little magnifying glass. And you see the judge walk up there with a magnifying glass. And then he makes the call. It's a 10. South Korea takes home gold. Shout out. 10 for 10. Eventually somebody else is going to win, but not for 4 more years.
I'm going to go to the do we have this video ready to play? I'm going to actually go to the country that we live in, the USA.
I know. I was like, why are we?
I don't know
why are
about
we
this
shouting
one.
out Korea when
you don't think it's incredible that a single country has won?
USA. I don't care what it is if it's not American. I don't care what it is if it isn't American.
10 times
Nope,
the event's
don't care.
ever been
I don't care.
done?
I don't care.
I'm going to go.
Just that much of a
Alona
weak-minded
Mar.
hater?
Let's go to America.
Mar is
Do you want this
somebody.
with sound?
To America, please.
Yeah, I mean, sounds great. Sounds great. Just watch this video
there's not
of
really-
a U.S. rugby player playing sevens here.
An Irish bar and ball.
The speed ain't no joke, man.
That right now. That's the best clip from the Olympics for me. It's going to be tough to beat that one.
Well, you didn't watch women's archery final, so I'll forgive you. But yes.
If you tell me that an archery final can create that emotion from Michelle Allstott, there's no way.
You obviously didn't watch Bob the Cap Catcher.
What?
I don't know
Bob
why
the
this has
Cat
gone
Catcher?
viral. He would definitely be a weekend winner. Have y'all?
No.
Has anybody here heard of Bob the Cap Catcher?
Nope.
No.
All right, I'm gonna throw it in winners and get the video ready after y'all go, and you can see what I'm talking about. I don't understand why this guy's gone so viral or gotten so famous, but the crowd loves him. Anyway.
All right, weekend winner, the Houston Astros took 2 of 3 at home versus the Dodgers, so they're still above 500 for their winning percentage for like the first time this whole season. They're down 5-0 on Saturday in the 6th, but they scored 4 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th for the win. And they got an encouraging update on Justin Verlander, who they're going to need down the stretch. So threw 50 bullpen pitches the other day, so it's looking good for Justin Verlander. Might be making a comeback soon.
Okay, look at that, dude. The Astros, like we said, remaining hot.
How old?
Second half of water polo starting up, guys.
41.
What is it? 6'5"?
He's 41.
God, I
Which
feel
is
like
crazy.
he's been doing it so long.
So long.
Like, that's only 2 years older than me, but I feel like he was in the MLB when I was like in high school.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like for Verlander.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah.
And they're still on top of the American League West. They face the Pirates
That's
today,
who dates
tomorrow,
Kate Upton, right?
and Wednesday. Yeah,
He's
they're
married.
married.
To Kate Upton.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're still together, though?
Yeah.
Shout out. Taylor?
Yeah, weekend winner for me. It's U.S. women's volleyball team. I mean, obviously we know Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss. LSU was well represented on Saturday. I mean, I'm trying to remember who the color commentator was, but he was saying, well, you don't have to be from California to be good at volleyball. He's like, you want to play, you go down to Baton Rouge. And I mean, they got
a great
a lot of
volleyball
pub,
team.
But yesterday it was Sarah Hughes and Kelly Ching were the two girls' names. They dominated their match as well. I mean, both of these teams have won in straight sets. The U.S. looks really good right now, so shout out to both of those doubles teams.
Yeah, shout out Coach Russell Brock, making LSU so relevant in the beach volleyball game. Great stadium as well, too, if you ever want to go watch a game. I know there's like such a beach volleyball community here, too, because of all the different places. There were some really cool watch parties going down over the weekend and going to go down again today at 2 p.m. when TK and Nuss do battle once again.
Somebody got some serious pub on that because the Olympics showed a clip of them at a beach volleyball place here in Baton Rouge, and it was the watch party for Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss.
All right, let's
It is wild, though, real quick, that we had them in studio when they were at LSU, and you were like, hey, yeah, y'all are going to win Olympic gold one day. And they were both like, come on, T-Bob.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I don't want to say I called it, but, you know, I'm kind of just really smart. Called John Baptiste.
And you read it.
Chaperone, TK and Nuss. South Korean women's archery.
You called South Korea women's archery?
I mean, it wasn't a hard call. They'd
I was
won the
about to say,
previous nine,
nobody's
Taylor.
ever won gold.
Exactly.
I still can't believe you started off weekend winners in an Olympic year with another country.
I can't believe you didn't watch it. I can't believe you didn't watch
Sad.
it. Right? What? One of our tightest allies? South Korea? What do you mean?
It doesn't matter. You
We
can
love
go,
South
you can
Korea.
go there maybe second.
Love South Korea. Okay, fine. Maybe I should have gone Bob the Cap Catcher.
I still don't know what
Give
that
this
is.
to me with audio. Yes. Look at this.
These ladies,
The TV, all of the TV cameras. I hope to carry myself with the same self-confidence as does Bob.
That's like when the cheerleaders get the ball off of the basket.
Oh, yeah, and everybody goes crazy.
Yeah, and everybody loves it.
Yeah, for sure. But again, there's so many hard bodies in that room. How in the world did Bob get that job? And I mean, hey, no shame in his game, dude. He was about it.
That dive in was a good dive.
It was smooth. It was smooth, dude. Yeah, Williams is due to straight alpha male.
Yeah.
0 F's given. He's owning it. Yeah. Bob don't give an F. I agree, dude. Brian Burge says weekend loser, part of the Olympic opening ceremony. Yeah, so they really made people mad with this one, huh? I mean, they were doing like a French Revolution thing. I would say kind of a core part of the French Revolution is being pretty secular and anti-religious, and they definitely do that in a lot of people's faces. People were not happy. I will say I thought the Marie Antoinette death metal opening was pretty insanely cool, but I haven't seen the rest yet. So, look, if you're offended, I get it for sure. I just think it's also like I think the point of it was probably to piss you off. So, you know, for better or worse, there.
Well,
it
the
is.
guy apologized. So I don't know.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See, I thought they were, I mean, I don't know how you plan all that and don't know what's gonna, I thought it was just like really leaning into the Frenchness of it, just the secular nature of the revolution and whatnot. Maybe not.
I think so, but then with all the backlash, he probably was like, "Oh, let me."
Yeah, maybe just like, maybe he like knew it was coming, but still still felt like he had to apologize. But the death metal opening was tight though, dude.
Yeah, I didn't see like any of it, but I want to go back and watch that.
It starts on a tight shot of Marie Antoinette holding her head, singing like some song, like a little ditty, and then it immediately hits like a hard zoom out to Gojira, like, and there's like 100 Marie Antoinettes, and it's like opera singing. It was cool, dude. It was pretty crazy, dude. It was pretty crazy for sure. Any other winners or losers?
Yeah, weekend winner. Well, I don't know, Jake. Did you have one?
No.
Patty the Batty We had UFC 304 this Saturday, and a lot of people were saying that this was going to be a fraud check for him, but he went in there and got a submission win in 1 round.
Why does every time that he
triangle.
fights, people try to act like he's not good and
Yeah.
he wins
Yeah,
every single time?
Undefeated. I was going to say, that seems to be the story of Patty the Bad. He's like,
Well,
he's
they
too
say-
fat, he's too this or that.
Well, I mean, whenever he's not fighting and not in camp, he does kind of gain some weight, but he sheds it super fast. But I don't know. I guess they say that he fights nobodies, and they're going to say that Bobby Green is washed, and that's why he won that one. But I don't know. I think it was a good win for him. Tom Aspinall had a good win, too. He knocked out Curtis Blades in like a minute into the first round. So weekend winner, them, also me, because I bet on these.
What's stopping Patty from getting a big fight then?
I guess he just had to work his way up, and now he's ranked after that win over Bobby. So he'll probably get some better competition
Him
now.
and Meatball Molly are super
Meatball
tight.
Molly. Yeah.
Super tight.
And they have a show together.
Yeah.
When do you get ranked? Like you say now he's ranked. Like how high of a like what's the number that you have to hit to be considered ranked?
So I don't know what he is now after winning against Bobby. Let me see.
Or was it like a number of matches as to why he wasn't ranked before?
Yeah. But what's her name? Molly. I think I don't remember what she did either. She lost. Molly lost this weekend.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know really 100% about the rankings, so I can't give you an answer on that. But yeah, great win for Patty. He knocked him out cold because it was a choke.
Oh yeah, he put him to sleep.
So he put him to sleep and like almost snapped his arm in half. So
Gross.
I can't imagine waking up from a nap and my arm's broken.
Ugh. I can't imagine fighting in the octagon. Yeah, look, Chad. I mean, again, they're saying the guy never said it was the Last Supper. I mean, I get it. It's not, but it is. You know, like it's not. It's about Bacchus or Dionysus, however you want to say.
But you can also use that as an excuse after you get caught up.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah.
not, but it is. Like
Yeah.
let's just call it what it is,
Like, it
right?
literally,
like,
I don't
again,
know how
I'm not
more-
offended by it, but if you are, like, I understand if you are, but like, I'm also not going to be like, well, it's actually not the last. I mean,
Yeah.
it was very
I don't know
clearly inspired
how
by the painting.
You could be more blatant than that. But
Yeah.
and if you're apologizing for it, then obviously
God, the Death Metal Open, that was so tight, dude. But yeah, Matt Glenn says, like, newsflash, Miracle, the world isn't all about you or your religion. I mean, again, that's, I think, was kind of the point of it, was to kind of fight against that notion. But whatever. Who cares? I don't. But if you do, that's cool too, man. All right. Any other winners or losers?
Yeah, I got a quick one. Chase Budinger, weekend winner. He's competing for the men's volleyball team, the beach volleyball team. This is a guy who was in the NBA dunk contest just a few years ago, and he's now retired from the NBA and playing in Olympic beach volleyball.
Wow.
He was actually the co-MVP of the 2006 McDonald's All-American game with a guy named Kevin Durant, who we've heard of. So great athlete there in Chase Budinger, and he's in the Olympics now, so shout out to him.
Yeah, he was the number one ranked, indoor like volleyball player in the country, but also was like a top 5 basketball prospect, obviously. So it's like, well, I mean, chose the basketball route, obviously.
Yeah.
More
But he found his way back.
opportunities for basketball than volleyball, but now he's beach volleyball, so pretty cool story. He
Well,
played a while in the
you have a
NBA,
6'7" guy right at the net who was in the NBA dunk contest.
Right.
Like, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Also,
enjoy that.
I heard Celine Dion did very well in the
Yeah.
opening ceremony. I saw it,
Celine
seen
Dion.
it, but I heard she did great. Shout out. What was it? Her 10th great grandfather was an A-Bear. Not to brag. All right. When we get back, more Off the Bench. Keep it locked right here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. You go to centralplumbing.org today. It's a great website where you can, go ahead and schedule whatever you need. But look, man, they got 24/7 emergency service. They got flat rate pricing. They send you information ahead of time about who's coming in your home. And of course, everybody who's coming in your home is licensed, bonded, and insured. So I don't care what the problem is. They have the people to do it. They come when you need them. They have decades of experience from which to pull, so that it's always going to be done correctly. There's a reason why I'm always telling you every single day they're your one-stop plumbing shop. Go to centralplumbing.org today.
Not only in Central, we remind you every single day in the Baton Rouge area, we are talking to you. And also, we remind you not only in emergencies. Now, they can help you 24/7, 365, but if you're looking to upgrade at your home or business, they are your go-to. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Performing is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap the Bayou Splash recruiting event, and we'll head out to Irvine to get a camp update from the Saints. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hope you're having a great day this morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Anything fun happen over the weekend, guys? Anybody get into anything fun?
My 17th wedding anniversary was yesterday.
Saw that on Instagram. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Probably a little too busy to do anything, or did y'all go babysitter and go do something?
No. We don't have a babysitter yet for baby Harlow. Haven't, journeyed away from her just yet, but we had a nice family meal, cooked steaks, kind of did it big for the fam. Great. And so, it was a good day. a lot of relaxing, and then we finished it off with House of the Dragon.
I
It's a
told
fun
both
day.
of you that I'd watch your kids.
It's a fun day. Hey, look, you ain't got to tell me twice. I
wait,
get
you said that before?
I told
No, you shut up.
Because
you,
T-Bob was
you,
saying
T-Bob,
something.
you've got
What?
so many babysitters.
This
I'm
is-
muting you, and I know you hate that.
No, this is exactly how it went down.
Yeah, we already did this. We
I
did
said
this dance.
T-Bob, because I think
I don't
T-Bob
remember.
needed.
CT is a hell of a thing, okay?
Yeah,
we did
I think
this
T-Bob
dance.
needed.
We
a
just need it for
sitter.
one.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
because the
was
boys are self-sufficient.
Yeah.
It's just Harlow.
And I said I would do it, and then you were like, "No, I'm taking that first."
Yes, your services.
y'all.
Yes.
I've dropped.
I'm a great babysitter.
No, she said this multiple times. Like the fact that y'all haven't took her up on it. Like,
Look,
I have met people.
I trust Alondra.
I
I'm
have
a
dropped
great
my
babysitter.
kids off as babies with multiple girls that I'm just meeting for the first time, like 30 seconds ago.
Dude,
I'm like,
no,
look,
I
there's the
was-
bottle.
I ain't never done that.
That's the crib. I'll see you later.
I was
Okay,
a
good luck.
nanny
Call me if you need me.
For two of my cousins.
We out.
One of them was a newborn baby.
Oh, your
when I
money
was-
then, dude.
Oh yeah,
Your
yeah.
money then.
So I
dude.
used to use T-Bob's cousins, but they have since grown up and
Yeah.
gotten married and
Yeah.
being selfish. I think.
Yeah. It's tough.
Very
dude.
selfish.
That is good to know. That's good to know because like
And you're
our
good.
boys, like they're old. Like we could leave the boys, with Jackson. He's 14. You can't leave Harlow with Jackson. If he was a
Yeah.
girl, probably. But
Ooh, that feels
Oh, yeah.
problematic. Why?
No,
Why is
I
that?
was like
because
12
boys
watching my
are
sister.
boys mature way later in life.
Yeah.
When I was
Yeah, that's
14,
just
I
a
wasn't
fact.
ready to
and
do
girls
that. I'm
at
not ready
14
to
are
do
way
it
more
now.
attention to detail. Than
I was
boys
watching
at
my older
14.
brother when I was 12.
I
I was the first girl in my family, so I took care of everybody.
interesting. Well, it sounds like you'd be a great babysitter.
I would.
Sounds like I'm gonna find out.
Yeah.
I got y'all. Katie, I
Um,
got you.
So Morgan Wallen was awesome over
Oh
the
my
weekend.
gosh, the best.
Taylor, did you do anything
Who,
over the
who
weekend?
opened?
It
for
was Nate Smith and Co Wetzel.
Nate Smith is very
Ko
good.
Wetzel?
I like.
A lot of
I
people
don't
are.
like Co.
Is it? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not a
like
big Co
him, and
Wetzel
I've
fan.
seen him like 3 times already,
It's
and
not
I just,
hitting.
it's
That's
not
fine.
hitting. But I did.
oof.
One of my friends was asking me like, "Hey, did Morgan do? I think it was Thinking About Me," and I was like, "I don't think he did." And then I was looking at my videos on my phone, and I was like, "He definitely did do that song," and I
Just
even
didn't remember?
recorded it, and I didn't
Yeah.
even. Yeah, we had a good time.
What did
It was
Morgan
so
Wallen
fun.
open up with? Do you remember?
Everything I Love.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was good. But he came out to like his Broadway Girls and Whiskey songs.
Who
Those, like,
sings
rap
One
songs.
Way Train? Is that Morgan Wallen?
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, that's Joe Pretzel. My bad.
He
Taylor,
opened up
did
with
you
"Sand
do-
in My Boots." I think
Lord.
last time I saw him, like on the piano, it was
Yeah.
really good.
Taylor, did you do anything fun this weekend?
Yeah, we saw Deadpool Wolverine on Friday night, opening night. It was so nice to see like a full movie theater.
It was
Like
full, dude. It
everybody-
was
like,
pretty. I
it
went
was awesome.
Saturday night. I ended up not going matinee. I went Saturday night at 9:30, and it was pretty full, dude.
Victoria looked over at me like it was 7 o'clock on a Friday night, so like it was packed. She goes, "It's kind of nice having like a full theater."
I
She's
agree.
Like, this feels like old
It's
school
fun.
movie days, and it
It's
was
fun.
It was
Feels-
awesome.
Feels a little nostalgic. I drank espresso martinis till 5 a.m. on Friday night, which was insane.
That was an aggressive play.
Why?
And family was out of town. Some other friends, their family was out of town. So it was all a bunch of adults with no kids, basically. And everybody just, and that meant like there were open rooms. They ended up sleeping in their daughter's bed. Everybody, it was like a big sleepover. It was crazy. Yeah, they just kept feeding me espresso
Like with
martinis.
your neighbors or something, like in the neighborhood?
No, not in the neighborhood.
Oh, because usually, you'll pass out in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I might sleep on my neighbor's driveway every now and then, but that's different. I'm like 20 feet away from the house. It's like a real sleepover. It's very fun. We did like that old school thing, when you like
you say it like it's like who are these people?
like they're just friends. But like
okay,
like
you're being real weird.
no,
about
no.
that.
I'm not. I don't want to just.
No,
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
say
like
names,
put
but I'm
names
like-
out there. No,
I don't
just
know.
friends.
I feel like we know most of your
But,
friends, and you're being kind of weird about it.
But
No, this is sketch for sure. This is something more than espresso martinis.
Yeah,
We're going
this is
down.
sketchy.
on Friday
No,
night.
so I've never
This
drank
is
espresso
sketchy.
martinis before, and I don't know if they're all like this, but I probably had about 200 coffee beans floating in my espresso martinis, and I ate every single one of them. How do coffee beans work? Do you get the caffeine if you just eat them, or do you have to?
I think it's
do you
like
have to get the
weed.
juice out of them for it to work?
Yeah.
Like, well, if you just eat weed, you're not going to
get
feel
high,
anything,
yeah.
There's
right?
places that sell like the little like
think you gotta
chocolate covered
activate it.
coffee beans and stuff.
Well, I know
they're
the
supposed to
grinds.
give you- I'm
If it's
wondering
grinded
if,
up,
like-
you can put it in like a
Like a
like
dip?
a Turk, yeah. And
I'm wondering if did I stay up till 6 a.m. because I ate 300 coffee beans?
Probably so, or because you were having espresso martinis.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of espresso martinis, but it was fun. You know, one of the best feelings is, and I hadn't had this in years. It's where you and a bunch of friends party together, and everybody has a great time. Everybody goes to sleep, and then the next morning you wake up, and it's breakfast and reminisce time.
Yes.
And everybody's still a little drunk, kind of, even if you maybe don't realize it. But it's and maybe like some are new friends, some are old friends, and so everybody's kind of. It was just it was very. I felt like I was back in college, honestly. So that was the
morning
that was a
recap.
lot of fun.
It's funny you say that, and we're open here. So SEC spring meetings, and I know you're going to take it to a place it's not, but SEC spring meetings, I usually stay with my in-laws. But we went to dinner, and it was late, and we had drinks with Coach Mark Stoops, your favorite. And I was like, man, gosh, that's an hour drive. Like, I might just get a room here. And Doring's like, no, dude, I got 2 beds in my room.
Hell yeah.
I just come stay in here. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So we turned the lights off. We're about to go to bed. And you remember when you were like a teenager and like 30 minutes, you just start laughing and talking and reminiscing on the day.
Funny at that point.
Yeah, like we sat there in the dark talking for like 30 minutes just about like
I love that.
our day, like what happened, interviews that day. I was like, man, this feels like I'm a 15-year-old boy and we're talking about like,
it's like
girls
high.
at school and
That's the best. Jen
It
and
was
I
funny.
did that this weekend.
Who do you have a crush on? That's always very funny too when you sleep with another adult in the same hotel room. Is you never know. It's like how awkward it's going to be when we flip off these lights and the television's off and it's just both of us laying here in the dark and suddenly silence is in the room. Does somebody try to talk? Do you not? Like that?
I mean, see, I've spent a lot of my adult life rooming, like the Chargers, the Bush League Bolts. Like we had roommates, even if you were a veteran player. Like you had roommates on the road.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like once you get to year 3 or 4, you can do. But like me and Tolbert, we're like, no, we're already roommates. Like we're gonna just room together on the road. And then when I traveled with LSU, it was me and Cody Worsham. We roomed together on the road. So like oddly enough, I guess I mean,
if you have a consistent partner, that's fine. You get used to it. You know each other's rhythms and snores and everything else. But
Cody used to fall asleep watching like, gosh, I think it was either watching or listening to podcasts, and he would have his earphones in, like, and his phone kind of lit up as he was going to sleep. I'm like, I could never do that.
I don't like. I can't have the phone screen lit up because it will not let me sleep. But again, I am a book on tape 15-minute sleep timer, and it's a guarantee I'm asleep by that. But if I don't do that, I will not fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like I have to distract my brain with like a dog with tennis balls. Be like, look over here, look over. and then it passes out. Otherwise, just be running around.
I used to fall asleep to like Bible in a year, and like Leviticus used to have me knocked out.
Was Mike Tolbert a snorer? Like Bob Boucher's lawnmower says, I bet Tolbert could saw some logs. I could see it. Dude.
He was
a big boy.
He was a deep snorer.
Yeah.
So,
Lord.
Also, story time. I used to room with Joe Adai in college.
Ooh.
Joe, so you remember the Live Cook cookies? They were famous.
Oh, so
We've
good.
told stories about those before.
So good.
Joe would wake up in the middle of the night, and he had no remembrance of doing this. He would smoke at least like 2 cookies in the middle of the night, and like would like go right back to bed after eating 2 cookies, and would smack so loud. Would eat 2 cookies and fall back asleep. I'm like, Joe, man, last night, like, do you remember that? He's like, I didn't do that. I'm like, bro, wow, you absolutely did that. And it's really before camera phones. Like, I was gonna film him one time. But.
Joe's body is such that it probably didn't matter, but that's got to be a really rough habit if you're trying to lose weight or something. It's just midnight blackout eating where you don't even remember. Like that's the worst time to eat. And you're just smashing cookies, and then you don't even get the satisfaction of remembering them going down.
You're on the diet,
right? Because
like
that's
a week
the
later,
point.
you're like, I gained 6 pounds.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
but that's
how.
like the point of eating bad is like you have the moment, but you also have the memory. You remember what it tasted like and how good it was. That's tough. That's tough.
Do people still like go on the road, bros watching an LSU game? Like if us 4 went to an LSU game, like does everybody still like bunk up? You know what I'm saying? Or because everything's so expensive now.
Yeah.
Like if people are going to Vegas, Are they still going to get like one hotel room and just like bunk up for the trip?
I know. I wish I had somebody to go to Vegas. Well, I don't have like a +1 to the wedding or whatever, but like my room is so expensive.
Yeah, probably.
I'm like, I wish I had somebody to split this with.
Me and Mettenberger shared a room for our Vegas boys trip not long ago. Unfortunately, I got a little too deep in my cups one night, and he ended up just getting full brown eye. I was like asleep. You know, like sometimes you like sleep with like your back arched up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just nothing on. Just fully just stared him in the face, dude. Freaking him out.
So
But Matt's better positioned to handle that than most.
You even sleep nude in a room with someone you haven't seen in years that doesn't know you sleep that way.
You have to think, though, Met has seen this man naked
That's
a lot.
That's true.
A lot.
Quarterback and O-line.
Yeah, to make it really awkward. I've seen him
touching
naked
the balls a lot.
hundreds of times, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just funny. Like, I've met Mettenberger's probably like, T-Bop still does this?
No, again, he's better suited to handle
if
most
you
stuff.
were rooming with Moscona on the road, like if y'all were doing whatever, like media days, how we used to have to bunk together before Matt took that over.
Yeah.
Butt naked.
Yeah, I get naked.
Yes.
I'd probably wait if it's a complete stranger like that. Probably wait till you're like under the covers.
I feel like Matt would avoid
And they get
Matt would
rooming with
freak
T like
out.
as much as he could.
Hey, look.
I could see it now. Y'all are sharing a bed. T-Bob's already in bed. Matt's like about to get in. T-Bob whips the covers back, and there's just nothing but T-Bob in all of his glory.
If I'm
just
sharing a
red-faced.
bed, to be clear, it's different beds. If I'm sharing a bed, I will not go full nude if I don't know you.
Do you do like a loincloth?
No, just underwear.
When's the last time that you've had to do that? Because
Share a bed?
I feel like you roomed
With a human being that I don't really know that well? I don't even know, dude.
Our first year we did SEC Media Days together. I feel like you and Rick.
Yeah, me and Rick
too.
roomed together. We had 2 beds.
Okay.
We had 2 beds. Yeah, I slept nude then.
Who would I? I think I paid. Like you had the option of like paying for your own room. I think I took that option.
Yeah. All right, when we get back, more to be.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I'm going to give you the biggest threat to the Team USA basketball team. Okay, it's probably not who you think. I did not realize this country had as many badass players as it does, actually. Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. KTOZblinds.com is the website if you want those window coverings at WOW. You want to take your home to the next level. We talking complimentary installation. We got financing options as well, always available for you. So you want custom blinds, window shades, plantation shutters, more. You're going to bring your home to the next level, figure out exactly how your home interacts with the sun and how to best improve it from a functional and aesthetic standpoint. It's all at K2Z window coverings.
KTZblinds.com is the website. 225-228-0855 is the number. Like T-Bob said, they're going to know your space as soon as they walk in. You tell them kind of what you're looking for, and they are going to know the answer right then and there, like 5 minutes. Brandon Barton and his team. K2Zblinds.com, KTZblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Érase una vez un Infinity, diseñado para despertar tu imaginación y desafiarte a soñar, con 3 lujosas filas de asientos. El totalmente nuevo Infinity QX80 de 3 filas.
Performing is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. All the news from the Bayou Splash. Plus, Saints camp rolls on, and it's LSU camp week as well. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. All right, so what team do y'all think has the second best odds in basketball right now, Olympic basketball?
Second best odds?
Yeah.
Canada.
Actually, yes. I don't know why I never would have thought that. I would have thought Serbia.
Canada's got some guys.
I would have thought France.
Canada's roster is stacked.
So I'm guessing chances are then the majority of people listening are going to be more like me and less like y'all, where they probably don't even realize some of these guys are Canadian. So you got Jamal Murray. I never knew Jamal Murray was Canadian.
Yep.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, freaking SGA. I didn't know he was Canadian. The LeBron killer himself, Dylan Brooks? Are you kidding me? Watch out, Team USA. You got RJ Barrett in there, Dwight Powell, Kelly Olynyk, Lou Dort.
Yep.
I love Lou Dort's name.
Andrew Nembhard, who had a heck of a run with the Pacers this
Trey
year.
Lyles, our boy Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I feel like
Kelly
the old
Olynyk,
meme.
Pelicans killer.
I wasn't familiar with your game, Canada. You don't strike me as a particularly basketball country, but looks like the joke's on me because y'all's pretty badass.
Well, remember RJ Barrett when
good roster.
When the Knicks traded him recently, like he loved being on the Knicks, but he was like, "Hey, I'm back home," because they traded him to Toronto. So he was like, he actually wasn't that upset about it.
I think maybe the craziest one for me is Shai Gilgeous. Or actually, no, I never knew Jamal Murray was Canadian, actually, like at all. At least Shai Gilgeous, maybe there's like some sort of French influence in that name where you can be like, oh, he's from Quebec.
For the most part, they're all from Ontario.
Really?
Yeah, like for a bulk of them, like 8 of the players that we listed are from Ontario.
Dort makes sense. Like I didn't know he was from there, but I was like, it's kind of an
Quebec.
unusual last name, but it's not exotic either. I was like, it makes sense.
Lou Dort. Dort just sounds so stupid. But then he like just murders your team with great defense and killer threes, and I get so angry. God, I hate Lou Dort.
Yeah, real stubby NBA player. And look, that's the term of
So
endearment
good,
coming
though.
from me. But
Yeah.
just like looks like a block.
Wait, yeah. So I didn't watch the game, but I heard Wemby dominated for France too, huh?
Yeah, he did. He had a putback dunk over about 3 defenders.
He's not real.
So he stretched out like in Space Jam, like when Michael Jordan just stretches his arm out and just does that.
The caption was, "Hey, look, it's a Space Jam dunk." I'll find a picture of it.
Oh my gosh, what a beast! What a beast! But yeah, shout out Team Canada. I thought that was interesting. I have nothing really to add there, and you guys weren't as surprised as I was hoping for.
Well, no, it's Wimby.
Should I go back to my Joe Pretzel joke?
No. A lot of these players, like, two of them play for Gonzaga, so I kind of heard that they, were from Canada.
DJ Wackles.
I remember Jamal Murray was playing for Kentucky. They mentioned it a ton of times. I didn't know Dylan Brooks. That's the one surprise for me was Dylan Brooks. He does not have a very Canadian feel.
So I'm looking online right now
Lord have mercy.
at the picture of the Wimby dunk, and he really did. That's not his real body. He extended, or that's photoshopped, surely.
No, that's him.
No, that's like Dalcine from Street Fighter. He legitimately has magic powers, and he stretched his arm.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because there's no way that a human being can be as long as the picture that I'm looking at right now. Also, what in the hell? Djokovic and Nadal are playing right now on E? Mm-hmm. No disrespect to women's rugby, but I think we got to put Djokovic and Nadal on, if that's cool. And then we got to go to break because we got Ask the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. It's all there at gotommys.com. That's GEAUX, Tommys.com. You go there, you're going to see the difference clearly. You call 225-250-8808, and you can figure out why Tommy's has won the Angie Service Award 7 years in a row, okay? With over 20 years of experience. You can trust Tommy's to replace your faulty windows, entry doors, sliding doors, gutters. You need porch screens, patio covers. We got you there as well, okay? And it's with integrity. They conduct themselves with integrity. They're dependable. They're professional. They're efficient. Go look at the reviews. Go to GEAUXTommys.com.
Yeah, once you go to that website, you can check out a gallery of what they can do for you. But as we always remind you, the gallery looks great, gives you an idea of, the work that they can do, but also they can customize your job. So if you don't see it in there, don't worry because they can do it over at Tommy's. Go to the website today to check it out. GoTommys.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We'll recap the Bayou Splash recruiting event, and we'll head out to Irvine to get a camp update from the Saints. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. You can leave this plain alone, sir. Villarreal.
I usually do that, yeah.
Every day.
Every day I do this.
You just wanted to make sure, like, this one.
Okay. You know what? Y'all have a good rest of the show.
All right. Ask the Bench, if you had to pick a new career from radio, which would you try?
Outside of sports?
Outside of sports. Still something in media, I think.
So I always had 3 dreams. One I'll never achieve now. Be a part owner of an MLS team was one. They're too expensive now.
I thought you were
second
go.
was to do this type of show and be in this world.
Yeah.
And the third was be the owner of a T-shirt company. So I think owning a T-shirt company
some sort of
could do
business,
that.
would be we do have our own shirts that they sell at Bengals and Bandits.
Yeah.
So not necessarily a company, but we do have a shirt out there. Go check it out, Bengals and Bandits.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't know. I always thought it'd be fun to own a T-shirt company. Come up with like a cool design, but a lot of T-shirt companies out there.
Ask the Bench, best walkout song.
Depends on what's. I mean, we're talking
What sport,
baseball.
yeah.
Because if I'm
that's kinda
talking
what you
like
think of.
MMA, boxing, it's different.
Yeah.
Dream On by Aerosmith would
good
always
one.
be my baseball.
I mean, Inner Sandman, when
Yeah,
Mo
I mean,
comes
that's-
out, is the best to me.
Anything AC/DC is good.
AC/DC's fun.
Yeah.
Any metal
Yeah.
feels like it would play.
Anything that'll just like hype you up.
Or something different. Like playing youth baseball, there's a lot of the same genre. It's usually a rap song that's, can be older or it can be new. And Memphis came out to, Way Down We Go.
Oh, by Kaleo.
Yeah. That was his, and it was really different than anybody else's, so I appreciated him having something a little bit different.
T. Who's
Which
next on the
Chapel
Navy
Roan song?
schedule?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have to look it up. I'm not sure.
Is throwing 8 picks in a football game bad?
Yes.
It's not good. It's not good. I got a lot of YouTube to watch today. I'm going to do what I do when I pick up any new hobby. I'm just going to dive deep into YouTube tutorials and pick up some tips and tricks.
Forgot to ask this. Which, was all 8 picks by the same QB? Did you make a switch halfway through? Or did
No,
you say,
why would I switch?
Well, because, after maybe 5, you're like, hey, my guy might not be on his game.
Well, that's like my guy, who was it? Somebody hit me up on Twitter and was like, same thing happened to me. And so I subbed out Nuss for Collins. I'm like, well, it's not really Nuss's fault. It's not Wigman throwing the picks. It's me being like, oh, here's cover 2. Let me wait for the receiver to be at the perfect moment where I can let the guy undercut it and have it and get a pick 6.
They playing Tampa 2 or cover 2 or 2-man?
This was Tampa 2.
Ooh. Maybe hit it like an angle route, right where that middle linebacker's bailing.
I had a couple times where I'm not bad at identifying the coverages, but I don't know what routes work against what coverages. So in terms of where my eyes are, I just get locked in or I panic and I go the wrong way. So
you need to call Flynn and have him watch your game and then see the coverage and tell you what routes.
I mean, it is crazy. Like Murray would straight up. At first he was sucking. I got a couple user picks on him. Then he really locked in and he would know, all BS aside, he would know what the coverage was,
Yeah.
which is a testament to the game.
Yeah, my son hates.
He'd be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Because I slow play it.
Over
I'm the same
three.
way. Yeah. And I
Right.
read the coverages, and I'm like, I'm going to 7 and 8 yard you to death, and he hates it.
Yeah, and he was really effective in the same way. So I don't know. Again, guys, nowhere to go but up. Nowhere to go but up. Yeah, I can't believe they're making them sleep in the cardboard beds again in the Olympics.
Except for the surfers.
But and the thing
As
is,
Fonz
like, you
points
should
out, they're on a
get
cruise
good
ship.
sleep.
I'm sure they're
competing.
somewhat comfortable, but
I don't know.
I mean, of all cities, come on, Paris.
City of Lovers.
Let these Olympians bang.
Why do they care?
I don't know.
That's always kind of been my question. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Why do you care so much?
I don't know.
It's actually a good question. Though.
I just want to be a fly on the wall. How good would it feel if like your event's already done, and so you just get to hang out and like party the rest of the time?
Oh, like,
you went like day one.
Yes.
You went day one.
Yeah,
You win
especially
gold.
if you won gold
Or a
it'd be-
medal in general.
Oh, what a great time! All right, love ya. We'll see you next time for more TB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Your answer for all your AC heating and electrical needs. Look, man, AccuTemp, they say service to the highest degree. It is written all over their buildings. It is their guiding light. And it's why when you work with AccuTemp, you're going to be like, oh my God, like I feel that in a way that I haven't before. And it's why you look at the reviews online with thousands of reviews. They got a 4.9 rating. So, AC, heat, and electrical, head over to AccuTempBR.com. Remember, though, if you want a whole home generator, protect yourself during the storm season, get a free professional estimate. They explain exactly how it works. You can do this all at AccuTemp of Baton Rouge.
Go to AccuTempBR.com. Schedule your appointment online. When you go to the website, top right corner, you can check out the reviews, and you can get that scheduled right there on the homepage. Again, AccuTempBR.com.
Érase una vez un Infinity, diseñado para despertar tu imaginación y desafiarte a soñar, con 3 lujosas filas de asientos. El totalmente nuevo Infinity QX80 de 3 filas.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your